What's good, y'all? Welcome to Afternoons with me. I am JoMama. Today I have Dan Gonzo Mechanic with me. Please, sir, I'd love for you to.
Gonzo in the house right here with JoMama
There
on
we
Tuesday
go.
afternoon, ready to rock and roll.
Gonzo is a pretty awesome name. How did you come to that? Is that a God given name?
No, that's something I borrowed from Hunter Thompson.
Okay.
I started doing comedy in Aspen when he was really popular, the writer who wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he actually introduced some of my comedy shows. And then later on in my career, I was in Asia and getting interviewed a lot. And people kept going, well, you're Jewish and you're a comedian. You're Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I'm really not like Jerry Seinfeld. I'm more like Hunter Thompson.
Gonzo.
Because of his Gonzo style, we were telling the story in a crazy way.
So Gonzo is in reference to style and like I was. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna give away, but I am a Muppet baby. Like I thought to the Muppets. Not Muppet
No,
things, but the Muppets. And you know Gonzo. And
Yeah.
and Gonzo has a nose. And I was like, wait, I'm so sorry I didn't
Well,
mean
no,
that. I
actually,
was
don't
just
be
like,
sorry
oh my
because there's a
God.
lot of different kinds of Gonzo. Gonzo relates to kind of an offbeat way of looking at the world, a crazy way to
No
insert yourself in a story.
way.
So you have Gonzo journalism. You can have Gonzo film. You can have Gonzo. If you actually Google Gonzo comedy, I come up. I'm the first guy who comes up.
That's freaking
So that's kind of like my little
awesome.
niche.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So that's why my fans are always chanting Gonzo, Gonzo, Gonzo
Well, I mean, if
before
you-
I get on the stage and when I come off the stage.
So-
Otherwise, I don't work.
This is the guy that I see. And then that's the, but did you see, like, when I typed it in, this is, I guess my brain went straight to that
Right.
character. But no, either way, I think is a good name.
Yeah, it's more of an homage to Hunter Thompson, really. I guess that would be the.
So JoMama's not exactly one to brag about anyway. 'Cause, like, a lot of people are like, you're a middle school insult. And I'm like, I did think of that in middle school.
Well, I
so-
also have the Gonzo shirt, so if people get confused, they know that what's going on, and they can know what to expect when they come out to the shows. It's a little less like comedy and a little more like a crazy party.
What was your last show at?
I just did a show at the Baltic Kiss in Point Richmond.
Oh, wow.
And then I have a show coming up tomorrow, Thursday, at the Amber Comedy Lounge in Oakland. So I haven't worked in Oakland in a long time. Last time I worked in Oakland was back when they used to only loot the Foot Locker. You know what I mean? Before they
Loot.
spread it out through the whole
You
city.
said loot. Oh, my gosh.
That's
no.
like 10 years ago. It used to only be the Foot Locker. Now everybody's, fair game.
Right, that's true. I
But it's the
understand what you're
Amber
saying.
Comedy Lounge. Yeah, I'm going to.
So, I was actually in Texas for like the last 20 years. I've just been back in California for the last year. And so, concerning I left for the military in 1997, it's a whole different San Francisco to me. So, or Oakland. Even when you talk about Oakland, I wasn't allowed to go to Oakland when I was a kid. I was supposed to stay on my side of the street,
Good idea by your parents.
my side of the bridge. But there was that one time I couldn't make a left turn.
You went over the bridge by accident?
Oh my God, it was
Ended
kind
up
of
in
scary.
Oaktown?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did, and I took the first exit I possibly could after paying the toll.
Okay.
Or having to now I'm indicted. I'm supposed to pay this toll, and I was like, damn it, never again. I was trying to go to City Nights.
It seemed like Oakland had a brief renaissance right before COVID, right after weed became legal, because they had Oaksterdam and a lot of new,
Oh my
I guess,
gosh.
finance coming into the city. But I think it's kind of got back to general chaos now.
I wish I was here for that time. Because for real, I was just happy that. So a dispensary had just a medical
Well,
dispensary.
Oaksterdam was the university that they had there in Oakland, where they taught people how to grow weed and how to run the weed business, and it was just, I guess, an exciting time for the city.
So that's an actual term, not like a
Oaksterdam, it's a place.
damn.
You didn't know about that?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm not sponsored by them, but I would be if anyone from Amsterdam's watching.
Literally a cannabis
I would take
college.
the money. Yes,
It's a cannabis
I will
college.
take money.
Oh, so sir,
I will
you're,
take money.
Paul, you're familiar with this.
Yeah,
We are
well,
not
anything
affiliated.
Cannabis related, right?
We are not affiliated in any way with Amsterdam, but we would
No,
be.
but we would love to be.
We would hang
Here's
the
my
banner.
elevator pitch to
yeah,
you, folks.
actually, any
Well,
dispensary.
Obviously, you need to tell me about it because I'm like unaware. That's,
I didn't attend. I just know that it was an anchor in the city at the time, and people were excited. I don't really go to Oakland a lot unless I'm going to maybe the Fox Theater, which I really like.
Okay, but right now
Also not sponsored by the Fox Theater.
you don't live in Oakland.
I live in Marina Bay, which is
Marina
the
Bay. Okay.
they call it the Richmond Riviera, or
Uh-huh.
the real estate people call it Marin East, and I
Oh.
call it Hood Adjacent.
Hood
So yeah, I'm in the Marina Bay section
Is
of
that
Richmond.
the more affordable?
No, it's actually would be like considered, I guess, the Aspen of Richmond. But to let you know, kind of, if you went out like 100 yards out my front door, you're on $1 million yacht. If you go 100 yards out my back door, you can buy crack from a pimp named Sneaky over at Andy's Donuts. So you know what I mean? We're right in the middle. It's like you almost made it. You didn't quite. You're in Marina Bay. So yeah, that's where I live.
I am having trouble pulling up this live stream for some reason. But okay, anyways,
You shouldn't. Were you trying to? You
Here-
should have it on. My life is content.
yeah. So you were talking about driving in Asia, and I thought that was interesting enough that I took note. So what was it that we were talking about where you mentioned driving in Asia?
Well, the thing I find interesting is that a lot of people who learned how to drive in Asia, who learned by riding on scooters, can drive their cars here that way. You know what I mean? They drive the cars in America like they drove their scooters in Asia,
You're
like
just
backwards on
saying-
the sidewalk. You know, smoking a long life cigarette through a mask, kind of
Well,
thing.
Well, my time in the Philippines, I knew this much. I was in high school, and the kids that didn't even have, well, they did. They got a registration to drive, but they can drive at 15 if it's to help. The
I didn't
family.
drive there. I had a driver.
Oh yeah, no.
Or I would jump in the back of a jeepney.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I knew enough to tell them to stop, and I knew how to jump on. That's all you
Yeah.
need to know, right? It's like to hit the jeepney or tell them para.
Something like that.
What do you tell them? Or you just jump off?
Just smack it with the coins when I wanted to stop, right?
Oh shit!
Just click the coins on the metal.
That's
Stop
smart.
now. Usually I have a driver. I haven't been in a long time. New subject.
No, yeah, definitely having a driver is awesome.
It helped.
When I'm typically with my family, we will have a driver, and that would be
Yeah.
my ex-husband.
Okay. That's good. Someone can wait with the car. Someone just stay with the car while you go into the mall.
Dude, I'm learning this much. So I go out alone by myself. In the past, when I went out alone by myself, it meant like I went and took my kids. I really was never alone.
Okay.
Yeah, because kids count too.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean,
But now that I'm doing things by myself, I'm like, wow, this is like different. And I hear people talk about going on dates by themselves. I'm like, I do that all the time.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't consider it a date. I just consider that life.
Right.
Just going
I
places.
know, being single.
I am single. That's right. I
And
know
being-
it's hard to believe, ladies.
Confident enough to do it on your own, right?
Well, I'm kind of like from the fast times at Ridgemont High School, where wherever you are, that's the place to be.
Oh, okay. So now
Remember when
you're
the mom said that?
I'm digging all the old references.
Yeah,
You're-
yeah. Fast times.
damn. I'm like, I normally keep up with. I'm typically quick witted when it comes to the older generation. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
Whoa,
The
whoa, whoa.
older generation.
Yeah, you know it's taking me
What do
a
you
minute.
mean, hold on?
Just slipped into AARP. Let's not get crazy.
Man.
I'm not quite working the hospice yet, you know. It'll be headlining right before you check out.
When did they start offering AARP? I know there's like
55. Stop
Yo.
digging.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you. So in Texas, there's this place called Beals. Beale. I'm saying it wrong, but Bells. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
And at 40 years old, you are offered a discount on Thursdays.
Oh, for food?
No, it's a clothing store.
Oh.
It's
Are you sponsored by them?
No, they're
All right,
no
we
longer
will
around.
accept sponsorship.
They're no longer around.
Okay, we gotta
My
go.
point being is I was in my 40s.
Okay.
And that meant I got a discount on Thursdays.
I'll take any special privileges or discounts I can get in any form.
That was my first form of age. You
okay.
know, like I entered
Okay.
into that age of, can I get the senior discount, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts at 40.
It
Apparently.
doesn't offset the dating hurdles of getting older, I'll tell you that.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, Paul, I don't get invited to the dorm very much anymore.
But I don't think that's an age thing. Oh, wait.
Oh, yes,
But
Even
how
when
many
I
times
get
do
it, I get
the
it.
cops call because you're out at the dorms anymore?
No. I just caught
I'll
the
bring a
last
keg
bit.
for all the kids.
When
There
he
you go.
said dorms, I was like, oh.
Yeah, dorms. That's
Yeah,
where
no,
college
disregard.
kids live.
Oh, my dear Jesus. Yeah. Okay, so I have high school kids, and, well, they're 18-year-old's about to graduate from her senior year. I would tell them enjoy high school, because when you graduate from high school, you're the weirdo that's trying to go back and visit your friends. You can't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm still friends with my friends from high school.
No, but you can't go back to the high school and try and relive the high
Oh,
school
no,
years.
no.
Once you're graduated, you're out of there.
Yeah, you're out of there.
Yeah, you're arrested if you try and go back in.
I actually went to the Performing Arts School in Long Island, so it was a pretty dynamic high school experience.
A performing arts school.
yeah.
Oh, I love it when it's so. But there were core classes that you had to take, right?
Acting one day, dance, singing, writing. I was there primarily for writing, but yeah, they'd make you do dance and singing, and which I enjoyed. It was
No, I was talking about core classes like math,
oh, that was
science.
in my day, my regular high school, and then my senior and junior year, I shifted over.
So
I would go to the regular one in the morning, and then the performing arts one in the afternoon.
it's wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like military school, but
No, it was
performing
very, I
arts
would say
school.
opposite of military school. I think I was like the only straight guy, and also it was very artistic and creative, and they encouraged a free thinking way of doing things.
Okay, so you said that you started. That means you were a junior by the time you started performing arts school.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, what made you pick performing arts?
Oh, I always wanted to be a writer, a TV writer, a movie writer, comedy writer, whatever. And so
So you've been writing since.
I'm terrible at math, and I'm terrible at science, and I'm terrible at foreign languages, but I always got an A in writing. And so that's how I've made my money, whether I'm writing jokes or I'm writing ads or I'm writing scripts or I'm rewriting scripts or I'm doing anything to do with writing. I can make money. Don't ask me to do your taxes or figure
my
out your percentages,
gosh.
because I'll be completely lost.
Fractions.
Can't
They
do
did-
anything like that. Nothing.
They hurt my head.
I'm very
too.
squeamish. I could never be a doctor. This is actually the only thing that I'm equipped to do
Oh,
is
that's-
be a stand-up comedian
Well,
and write movie scripts.
I
That's it.
will say this: when you hit me up, because I hit you, I found you. We found each other on Bacon, the Bay Area Comedy Network, which it's
Who we're not sponsored by.
But I do want to say, like, I would say,
And I'm telling you, you're at least trying to get us that sponsor.
That's the runner today. Is
Hey,
everyone?
yeah, no,
everyone
this
we
guy.
plug. This is our list. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying that this.
I want you to get paid, JoMama.
I love that. Thank you so
And
much.
you guys were just saying you found each other on Bacon. I'm like, what were you at a Denny's? Like
Ah,
sharing a plate of bacon?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Bacon-
kosher
Bacon
Bay
Comedy
Area
Network.
Comedy
Gotcha.
Network. And
Yeah.
did you know you could rack up points on that? And it's if not for those points, I'm like so addicted to posting and like responding to everybody, because I don't know what it is. It's like the reward system makes me happy.
A lot of extroverts on that Facebook page. I'll tell
Oh
you
my
that.
gosh. Okay, let's not talk about that because I don't want to get kicked off.
Extroverts is okay.
No, I know, but I didn't know
They're
what you meant, like if
extroverted.
it's good or
Yeah,
bad.
it's amusing.
Well, I think the worst is that I'm an introvert, but I'm acting like an extrovert.
Can I be honest? I booked 4 people off that page
I'm
recently.
glad that you did.
for a winery show and a yacht club. So those are good gigs. You paying gigs. Don't send me any information, but I used that page to find people, which was cool. you know?
And okay, so this is the best thing about having like the comedy community, is that we're here to help each other out, because really it's never just a one person show. It's
yeah,
a-
people were sending me good tape and funny stuff, and of course, you like people that show up on time and bring some audience members, right?
I
You want to have acts that actually have a fan base.
yeah,
That's important.
I love that it puts you in touch with a lot of comedians, more or less. All right, so I know you mentioned you bought one of those electric bikes recently, huh?
Well, I've actually had it since about COVID, and I have 4,000 miles on it.
Let me tell you, somebody told a joke, not a joke. He was sharing on stage how he has a bike, but somebody stole his bike, and now all he has is the battery.
Can I talk about my bike a little bit?
Good, please.
First of all, people are like, Dan, you got the bike, you're getting some exercise. And I want to say that I've never pedaled the thing. You don't get this body by pedaling, first of all. The second thing is, when the battery runs out, what I do is I just pull over and call an Uber. And then an angry man and a Chinese man in a van comes to pick me up and is like, he goes, you can't put this in the back of my car. And that's when I look at him and go, Dubachi Laba, ni hao, Migora, no speak English. And his head explodes. And then I put it in there. And even when I'm pedaling,
Yeah, 'cause
like
you
to
can
make
just
other
fold
people,
it up, right?
I can fold it up, make people feel better. I feel like the witch in Wizard of Oz.
Oh my
When
God!
she's
just
pedaling
because-
across the sky, you're not feeling anything because of the battery. You're like, I'll get you.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
That's
the
pretty
fucking
funny.
e-bike. Love that thing.
So, okay, what's a trip is that you said this is your second podcast,
Yeah.
but you've done many other things, not podcasts to be specific. So, what's your experience on, I guess, like a radio? That's what
Well,
you
I
were talking
worked
about.
at KSPN in Aspen for 5 years, and that's during the peak of my comedy career. So I spent plenty of time on the air. I wasn't a DJ; I was actually an advertising person.
It sounds it.
And but I did a lot of ads. I won a bunch of awards, actually, CBA awards,
Oh, that's amazing.
Colorado Broadcasters. That's right, it's Rip Rap Rafting. And I would go cut the ads and write the ads, and so yeah, I spent 5 years. It's almost like that movie Aspen Extreme. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No.
They use a radio station as it's like the whitest place on earth, Aspen, Colorado. But this is back when DJs could pick their songs, and we were like an album-oriented rock station.
Okay.
And so we would have the Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers, Little Feat, the Radiators,
Oh, they can't pick their
Widespread
songs now?
Panic. Huh?
They can't pick their songs now.
It was
more
different.
the
Now
playlist?
it's like part of a corporate thing.
Okay,
So
I
we
see
would
what
have
you're
all
saying.
these rock bands that would come into our studio, which was like cool because
It's
I
so
love
independent.
I love those bands,
That's
all those jam rock bands.
Dude, if anything, you're making me like do a lot of mental gymnastics,
I'm sorry.
having to remember things and I or recognize that I know
It was my first job
very
out of
little.
college. Yeah.
But I think it's just if I met you on the street, we probably would be like, "Hi," not much to talk about. But
I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think we'd talk. But here we
Do
are.
I seem unfriendly?
No.
Okay.
I barely talk to people, and then it takes a
You
lot.
have a dog?
No.
So
Well,
usually people come up and talk to my dog and ignore me. That's my MO.
Well, I have kids, and a lot of people would talk to my kids and
Oh,
not talk to me.
that's
So I understand. Oh,
more-
that's what I
more
wanted to bring
concerning.
up this pet owner without kids, because I have been a pet owner and I'm a kid owner as
Okay.
well. And I just think the dynamics between I respect pet owners, pet parents, because if you're raising a pet, you understand what it is to like care about
Like right
something.
now, honestly, I had to put on the dog relaxation video for my dog while I left. I put it on YouTube and it plays like for 8 hours.
Yeah,
It
they
has-
have a live one too.
Yeah, so I haven't used that one, but
and it's 24
it's like
hours, so.
squirrels and stuff. And so, like for me, I put that on for him, and then I need to leave the house right away because if I get caught up in it, no, like if I lose my keys, it'll hit me, and next thing I know, I'm under the coffee table, curled up in a ball. My nose is in my ass.
Oh my
The
god!
fucking video ends. I sit up. I bang
That's
my head. I
awesome.
grab a tennis ball. I go over. I piss on my couch. The dog's looking at me. I go to my neighbor's. I'm up in its leg. You
All
know what
you
I mean?
said
The
was
video can
squirrel,
really get
and I'm
into
like,
your
squirrel?
subconscious. So you
Squirrel?
got to hit it and then
And then walk out.
and
But
then
so here's the,
skedaddle.
so here's the problem with that is I was doing that for a long time, and then I realized a lot of these YouTube videos are produced by other dogs.
Oh my!
So wait, so what's going on? It's 10 minutes out after, what they do is they play like you squirrels running along and, dogs chasing
Right.
cats.
Just to
and all
get
those
you out
things.
of the house.
Right. And then
That's
you're like, oh, okay, it's time to go. And then
hilarious.
once you get out, it's like, okay, now start humping the couch.
Okay, let me. So okay,
And then I left it. I came home. The dog's watching porn and smoking pot. I'm like, what
Right.
the fuck's going on
Yeah,
here?
his stash is in
The fucking
his
neighbors are giving my dog weed. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like,
God.
his stash is in the sock drawer.
As soon as I leave, he's like eating my frozen pizzas.
Comedian.
I'm like, we're one light in here.
can't take you seriously for
All right.
nothing.
No, don't.
So,
But I actually do have a video on for him now. I swear to God.
oh, damn it! There's
Charlie
my
Marley
train
the
of
Wonder
thought.
Dog.
See, if I don't write it down, I'm gonna forget what the fuck I'm gonna say.
Should I do more dog stuff? Keep going. It's okay.
No, now my
It's afternoon, so
it
Joe
is.
Mama.
Joe Mama
Damn it for
streaming
not
live.
writing. So, yeah, no, I really. So you said you perform at the Purple Onion, which is funny because
I did. It's no longer exists.
Me too.
You did?
Yes.
I did the shows with
Eric.
Jabari Davis
Yes,
now. Oh, you did the
yes.
Jabari shows?
Yeah.
Where he made the albums that I've never heard?
Yeah.
You know, for me, Paul, I don't know about you, but for me, the exciting part about the Purple Onion was, Lenny Bruce was performed there.
Right.
And Lenny's like my fucking god. He is like my hero.
So he's done little sets, but so he was famous for doing the Hungry Eye strip club.
Okay, right,
And
right,
it's
right.
not where it is, but that's where he was arrested.
But he did play the Purple Onion a lot.
Yeah. So
and
but-
so did other people. But Lenny is like, that's like,
Yeah, the claim to fame, I think, is what do you call it? Phyllis Diller did her run. Here's a housewife that lived in Alameda in
Right.
the 60s.
Right.
And she started off doing a couple weeks. I think it got extended out to almost a year.
Wow.
It was like almost 50
Have you
weeks.
seen that Lenny Bruce movie with Dustin Hoffman? Have you seen that, JoMama?
Oh, yeah. That you mean Lenny?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
watched it just the other day again.
I
It's kind
want
of
to.
they hounded him.
No, okay. So my understanding of Lenny Bruce
Lenny Bruce.
is from Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, so the only reference
okay.
is that, which is very
Some
clean.
other friends said that
very
to me.
sanitized.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch that because
It's a very vulnerable, honest
People like that show.
truth from me. I'm just
Well,
saying.
no, that's true. I mean, no, and doesn't she end up having? No, she doesn't. She just ends up befriending him. or
Yes,
something.
yes, they're really like, but he's a very prickly character. I
Enough
see
of the
that.
women in my family already think they're Jewish comedians, so I don't need to watch the show. But I do like Lenny.
But I did start watching that before I was a comedian. I started comedy at 43 and I'm 44, so it's been a year strong.
I have to
started
say,
at
I like the
41.
Jim Morrison poster behind me on the wall here. I feel like I'm in college.
There you
I
go.
feel like I should have a black light and a tapestry going on.
That's
right
why
now.
you've got the mood lighting behind
And
you.
then there's the
I'm
other
feeling
room
it.
too.
I'm starting
But
to feel it.
yeah, once you start to look at the everything else going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just noticed the lights behind us.
It's also, I have to say, I mean, I've done gigs and all sorts of promo at interesting places. This building is quite fascinating.
I love this building. Okay, so we were just talking about the fact that there was an exorcism that occurred in this building.
Well, what building? Are you allowed to say where we are?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are allowed to say where we are.
I will. I'm saying yes because he's saying yes.
gonna leave it up to JoMama.
The Oddfellow building.
The Oddfellow building in San Francisco, right by Market Street and 7th
off
over
of
there.
Market Street.
And I had to go downstairs in an elevator with a door guy
The
who was in a
lift.
heavy metal T-shirt blaring Pantera. And I'm like, this place is, I chained my bike to a piano.
Where there's art though. There's
And then
hella
I
art.
sensed all these weird spirits. And then, Paul, you were telling me there was just an exorcism because it was a...
Right, it was kind of a holding place, for lack of a better term,
Oh my
for
God.
some of the bodies after the 1906 earthquake and fire.
Wow. I
And
felt that.
So we had to exorcise one demon out of here, which he's currently still walking the earth, which is the old owner of the studio.
Yeah.
So we had to get him out, but we got him out.
You
But-
are a fool.
But then we ended up still feeling the energy that you felt.
Yeah, I felt it as soon as I came in.
I know, you literally can almost like.
I'm
float on.
very tuned in.
Is that what's making my stomach hurt? Because something's
No,
making me.
no, they
It's all
exercised
now.
them.
They
How
exercised
many
them.
people you said he
Yeah,
got out
I
of here?
mean, they had them all on tread machines. They were totally exercising the whole time.
Wow.
You're so funny.
Okay, so now this is kind of a weird thing that you told me that because my last gig was at this place in Point Richmond called the Baltic Kiss, which is also a building from the early 1900s. And at one time it was a bordello, and at one time it was a funeral parlor. And so I started thinking like, I want to be the guy there the night they do the transition. You know what I mean? We're going to fuck yourself to death. You're going to be dead in room 7. But you know what? Now it's a funeral parlor, so no need to move the body.
That's amazing that you know the history of like what you know.
That's
'cause-
why I prep for stuff, yeah.
So I was actually stationed in Germany, and I worked at night on the flight line as a security forces, and I just know that I never heard any stories about like what's happened on the flight line. No, I've heard some stories, but anyways, all I know is that I felt a lot. Just being there, especially when it got dark and nothing but time to think about things. I'm just like, why am I thinking all these weird things? It's pretty scary. I didn't see anything specific.
We have
but
Paul here to protect us.
I
Yeah,
know. Paul. It's like, we're this.
Oh,
He's
I
still
become-
alive.
I've become Scooby Doo.
Ruh-roh.
No, but you mentioned that you're gifted. So I know that I was in one of the dorm rooms in Germany, and I dreamt that this guy coming up to my bed in a motorcycle jacket, and then somebody was like, the guy who was here before you, he died in a motorcycle accident.
Oh my God. But I believe it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you tune into that, so at the Baltic, I also felt it when I was doing my gig. And then I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's an old building. There was all sorts of shenanigans going on. It was a funeral parlor.
Shenanigans.
And, I lived in Asia for many years, so I lived in Taiwan. And they're very tuned into ghosts. I
Right.
mean, if you go for curb on the road, they put money, paper money on the tree as an offering. They burn
Dude.
paper money for the ghost people. When you die, they have the best real estate. All their graves are like up on the hill overlooking the. And so when I lived there, I kind of got tuned into it. And now when I'm back here, when I come into a space like this, I could feel it like immediately.
Right. And it's funny because, yeah, they exercised the place. And so we're still feeling it.
But you said he did it over the phone. Is that possible?
Yeah, I had to keep putting quarters in the slot.
How does that affect? No, but how does that affect? How does it show up on your billing?
Yeah,
When we run an
exactly.
exorcism over the phone.
Yeah, I paid by the minute.
You
The
know,
900 number.
Towers are falling down on the way.
1976.
Actually, in Richmond, just recently, they started stealing copper out of the towers. I don't know if you guys heard of this. This is like a new thing.
Oh wow.
And
No,
all of a
copper's
sudden, the internet
expensive.
went down in the whole town.
Good gosh.
They
copper's
climbed the
very
towers
expensive.
and take the copper.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the inmates
Well,
have taken over the asylum.
Well, yeah, everything's getting like everything during the pandemic. People
Wow.
were a lot of things where people were getting their houses like literally the pipe taking out of news houses
Yeah.
before they could launch them.
Yeah.
But you're saying the copper was being taken out
Of
by
the
the.
transmitter towers. That's what someone told me. I believe it.
And the funny thing is, you can totally see a tweaker
Oh no! Go
Oh,
up
to the
there.
top of a tower.
Oh my gosh!
Can you see me now?
We were outside in one of those holes.
Climbing at
Oh,
3 a.m.
yeah,
Yeah, that is funny. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
When we were
That
outside,
is
one
funny.
of those little holes had something burning in it, and of course, I looked to see what's burning, and it's just like trash, debris that they set on fire. I mean, why not? I guess. You know what I'm talking about? Those little potholes that they just like throw trash in.
There's so many homeless hacks. I was telling you about last week. I think I was telling you about the guy that was shaving his face in the newspaper machine.
Yeah.
Like he
Was
could
he-
see his
was he
reflection in
dressed?
the newspaper machine like it was his home mirror. And then, it's cold here in the city.
Was he dressed? Was he naked?
He had his shirt off.
Oh, okay. He was doing it
It was like
was
he had just got
comfortable.
out of mid shower.
Ooh,
See, like-
okay, yeah. Oh, he just washed in the puddle, the near
Yeah, a
puddle.
little, and then he was shaving his face in the reflection of the newspaper machine. So here's the other hack I just saw. It's cold here in the city.
Ooh, yeah.
So how are they staying warm? They're putting their tents on top of the manhole
Well,
covers.
yeah, that's old school.
over by the-
steam.
Oh, but it might smell bad, but it's nice and toasty.
Oh
warm.
yeah, that looks like a good play right there.
Yeah, they put it right over the manholes that have the vents in it. And
Well, you guys are in the neighborhood for a lot of insanity. I mean, we just saw some crazy stuff happening outside just now.
oh yeah,
This is not a normal neighborhood.
oh yeah. Well, so that was weird because I thought for sure we were witnessing
Yeah.
the weirdest drug
Yeah.
deal ever. Because I was looking at this really nice, well dressed Asian lady, which I'm like, she's asking
She,
for
she
directions.
doesn't belong
right?
here. She doesn't
Yeah.
belong here.
She's not. What?
And
Which
a
of these
wad.
don't belong?
A wad of money.
Yeah, she had a lot of money.
And she's
And-
stuffing money into people's pockets.
And a bunch of like
Yeah, that was
tweakers
weird.
And
around
it was
her.
homeless people, and I'm like, okay, she's giving away money.
Yeah,
But we're
not to
all
us, though.
we're all outside this door watching this commentary included between me and Paul. Like, what's she doing? Is she doing this for real? Oh, she's giving them money, but we're just talking out loud.
And it wasn't just handing them $1.
No,
No.
she was giving them wads of cash.
She was giving them wads of cash and trying to get them off Market Street.
Wait, okay, how many ODs happened right from that moment to that moment?
Well,
'cause I believe the guy said there was two
it
ODs.
happens all the time. We just saw somebody get their
Get picked
life
up, right?
life revived.
Oh yeah, he was ODing across the street.
He
I've
was
only been here
OD'd and
for
they
half an
literally
hour.
Had to Narcan him.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's
multiple
one.
times.
that's the
and,
first half hour here in the neighborhood.
But the guy said that was the second OD since
Oh,
just a
morning.
few within the past few minutes.
So
or-
you kids at home, take it easy.
Well, I'm here. I'm the owner of the Ed Studios. That's my shameless plug for the day.
Hey.
So how I get in and out of my car is sometimes I'll have equipment. And so I have to go park in the alley, which you're not supposed to park in. So I'll park there, put on my hazards, put on my pylon cones and whatever. So
You put them on. You actually wear the cones.
Yeah, I wear the cones on. I look like Madonna in that 80s
You have cones in your car and you put it around it? That's
on your head.
smart.
It's the cone heads.
Genius.
Yeah, because they had them at the dollar store.
Harder to
Or the
tow.
dollar
Oh,
tree.
I like the
Or-
cones. I like the cones.
Harder
I do
to
like the
tow
cones.
you.
Sorry, I didn't mean
guess,
to step on that.
No, you stepped on my cones.
You know, you're in the alley. You're in the alley with your cones on.
So anyway, so I'm pulling up. It was a few months ago. I was pulling up in the alley, and I saw that they were literally giving chest compressions to someone, and I couldn't really tell, but it was a young man.
No.
And I'm like, oh, that's horrible. And I'm like, well, I'm not even gonna pull up there and start, because right behind me there's an ambulance coming. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to walk all this in from blocks away. And so because I parked far away. And so,
Nothing more
but when
inconvenient.
I came back, I went over and they said, yeah, they brought that kid back. And I said, oh, thank God, right? And I go over and I look, and I know most of the emergency workers in this area, because they all kind of work the same. It's
Right.
kind of like their territory. People kind of do stay in their part of town. And so like, I kind of just went over and waved hi to a couple people that I knew. And then they were literally, the EMT was having a conversation with this young boy and telling him, you know, it's my honor to have met you today, instead of picking up your body and recovering it.
Wow.
And the kid's like, he didn't, you know, he was 20 something, and literally just wanted a glass of water. They asked him if he wanted to go take a ride to the hospital, but he was fine, but he didn't want to go back on fentanyl. And they literally pointed him down the alley about 150 yards. And they say there is this little place where they'll help you, and they'll give you the alternative to fentanyl to kind of wean you off.
Well, that's good.
And so he didn't really. Anyway, I ended up having to walk him down there. Had to go get him some water.
Good Samaritan.
Yeah, well, and he was like, he asked me so many questions, and I'm like, if you want to get clean, get the fuck out of San Francisco.
Well, yeah. Maybe.
If you're gonna be homeless somewhere, be homeless in San Bruno. Be
that's
homeless
safer
in
San Bruno.
Millbrae.
We're not sponsored by San
be
Bruno.
homeless- No, well, but I mean, be homeless anywhere than the epicenter.
Yeah.
Right? Because literally, if you are a drug addict and you have $3 to your name,
This is not where you're gonna heal.
no, you will get fentanyl for $3 right now. If you have,
Well, we don't want to
$3.
put that out there for people because we don't want you doing that.
Right, but what I'm saying is, you literally, I mean,
No, because you're gonna die.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You're
don't
just-
do that.
You're asking for a poison pill.
Right, but I think that's
Or
why
a
that
hot
lady
shot.
was trying to deter people and get them off the streets.
Yeah, but instead
because
by
she
giving
wasn't
them
looking
money.
for people that were walking down the street holding tinfoil and smoking.
Right.
She was looking with people that, oh, this person looks like they woke up this morning and
First,
try to put on their best face, and
she was giving money to that older lady that had the cart, and I
Right.
thought she was, or the pusher, or whatever it
yeah,
was.
she had a little cart and she was
Yeah.
walking with her groceries kind
Yeah,
of thing.
she gave money to her and put it in her pocket and insisted that she do that. But the other ones that were hovering, they looked more troublesome because they all looked like they were tweaking.
Right.
Tweakers.
There was one guy that definitely looked like he was tweaking. There was another person that looked like, oh, they're just walking their dog, and that's fine. They look like they
The
can
dog
maybe
looked like he was tweaking.
Uh,
I looked like he was.
If I need if I want to see some insanity in my neighborhood, I have to go to the BART station. People
Oh, my
people
goodness.
doing standing backflips over turnstiles.
And I forgot
So,
what city you live in.
Richmond.
Thank you.
Yeah. They like to do backflips over the turnstiles, so you don't have to use the clipper card.
Or Marina, what is it?
Marina
Upper
Bay.
Marina
But
Bay.
I go to the Richmond, the BART station that's in the middle of the.
Oh, there's no
action.
BART. Whenever it's a nice area, they don't have BART there, do they?
We're the last stop actually.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just on the cusp of.
So people like to sleep all the way in.
Oh, interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's like Berkeley, El Cerrito.
I can
and
make more
then
friends out there
Richmond.
now.
Yeah. Anything on the BART. That's what I only go to things BART adjacent or ferry adjacent. I took the ferry today,
Yeah, that's cool.
and then
How
rode
did
the
you
e-bike
like that?
up here. Love the ferry.
Yeah, because you get to see Alcatraz and everything, right?
They should have comedy on the ferry. They should have
Oh.
comedians on the ferry just to keep people happy. I used to work a lot of boats back in the 90s. And,
Paul,
it's nice to have a captive audience.
your subway and ferry thing would be like awesome.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah,
They
'cause-
definitely need to put at least on the commuter ferry, throw a comedian up there to support the arts.
So,
Put them upstairs.
I get that. I get
Yeah,
that.
why not?
But do they allow that?
No, I don't know. I haven't. I'm just putting it out there now over the air. But I have worked on boats that were like that ferry.
I know this much. Okay, just because you're skilled in a profession doesn't mean you should always do it. There was this one case on the plane.
What? What are you talking about? I shouldn't be steering the ferry, or what? I'm sorry.
No, I'm steering this conversation differently.
Oh, sorry.
There is this gospel singer who was on a plane, and she decided to start singing gospel.
I saw that clip.
But here's the deal.
That was annoying, though.
Here's the deal. The stewardess, not stewardess, the flight attendant had a job to do, and she was impeding on that, and she couldn't get past herself to allow him to do his job. And so she was completely in the wrong, no matter her stature and her skill. And
She
her
thought
expertise.
she was like, oh, I have a Grammy nomination.
Yeah. So there's a time and place, more or less. So you don't start doing stand-up comedy when the flight attendant's trying to tell you where the exits are.
Definitely not. And definitely not if you're not getting paid.
They're actually becoming more funnier though. The flight attendants.
Sometimes you will get a fairly amusing flight
Oh
attendant.
man, I've been hitting the funnier ones because every time I fly Southwest back and forth to Texas to go see my kids, because they are in Texas, and that's why I get to do like these other things that I don't normally do. But the attendants have been hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like now that comedy's kind of like hot, everybody wants to be a comedian. Like, I go to Temple, the rabbi's a comedian. I go to see a band, the guy in the band's a comedian. I go on the plane. You know what I mean? 30,000 comedians out of work. All these people are starting their career.
So, do you like it when people try to offer you their jokes so you can keep in your back pocket? Because somebody did that to me recently. I made a post about it, and they're like, "You need to stay humble," and I'm like, "I'm just annoyed."
I get more. If someone says, "Hey, what do you do?" and I say, "Well, I'm a comedian," I get more annoyed if they ask me to tell them a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then if they want to tell me a joke, that's fine because sometimes it's a good joke,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
Yeah, I don't ask you to make me a Big Mac.
I'm not doing material.
Yeah.
But people try to send me
Yeah.
material. And I'm like, you know what? If you really believe in whatever this political whatever you're putting out there, get up on stage.
Thank you. That's what I always say.
Say it yourself, baby.
And it's not to be mean. It's to be
No.
encouraging.
Yeah.
Like, do I come to your job and knock the broom out of your hand?
But not every, yeah.
There you
No,
go.
that's right. I mean,
We're giving you the Disney rated versions of the original joke.
well, now you'll feel like
We don't go to your street corner and slap the beep out of your mouth. Okay, so
lighten it up after the fentanyl.
man,
I can be funny too.
we can keep it Disney rated, folks. There we go.
Dude, I was talking
Yeah,
about.
no, I don't mind. Sometimes people tell you a good joke.
Okay, so this guy was trying to be frisky with me, and
He's being what with you?
a guy. No, see, not a comedian.
Frisky
Another-
rubbing your
frisky.
belly
Yeah,
and-
no, yeah, I guess so. I was like, oh
When you
my
say
god.
frisky,
Yeah, frisky, like, oh, can I tell you a joke to put in your back pocket? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. And then he was like, and
I can tell you a
he was
joke
trying to get
stuff
into
up
your
here.
back pocket, JoMama.
I think so. I think so. And I said,
Like that.
but then he was like, come on, I got a good joke. You can tell it on stage if you want to. And I was like, where do you work at? And he was like, the dispensary. And I was like, do I try to give you my weed to sell for yourself to keep the money? He's like, that's not funny. And I was like, I wasn't trying to be funny. But that's how I feel about it. Like, do I tell you how to do your job?
Yeah, well, yeah, sort of.
So I always will listen to the people. I usually won't tell them a joke unless I'm depending on the atmosphere. If it's literally
Yeah,
you
if
just
it's
saw
a
me
vibe.
perform. No,
Mhm.
you just saw me perform.
That's annoying.
You
That's
wanna
the
come
worst
see me?
time.
No.
Tell me more.
Oh my God! In Asia, I would get these drunk Canadian guys, like these English teachers, after I did a gig in like Taiwan. Let me tell you a joke, man, and they'd buy me a beer and start falling
Oh,
out.
wow.
Really annoying.
Okay,
'cause,
did you drink with them?
you know,
'cause
I try
everybody
to cultivate
offers
a
to buy a
good.
drink.
Yes, I try to cultivate a good fan base. Sometimes people will ask me if I want to drink after a show, and usually, sometimes if it's a good show, I won't need to drink because I'll be on a natural adrenaline high.
Right.
Other
right.
times, if the show sucked, I'm gonna want to drink, but not at the club. I'm
I
gonna
wanna
want to
drink
go
my
to an
sorrows.
after party somewhere that I put on or one of my fans is putting on for me. But
That's
we do a
pretty
lot of
interesting.
we do a lot of after parties.
Is that right? Who? When you say we
Well, like when
mean-
I produce shows, I try to make it not only as myself and the other comedians. I usually have two other comedians, but I almost always have an after party, either at my friend's house or a underground nightclub or wherever. We put something on.
Oh wow.
So that it's a full night of fun because after the show I feel excited. I don't want to just go home
Yeah.
and hang out with my dog. I've been working towards the show. I stay sober for the show. And then I want to party
Oh,
with my friends because all my friends have come out.
that's what single people do.
Well,
I
don't know. I mean,
because I was married for 18 years, so I've been like locked away.
so let's
for
say
18
30
years.
people, 30 of my fans come to a show. And the show we're doing now are earlier because I have a little bit of an older crowd. After the show, instead of everybody going, okay, I'm going home now, I go, come on, we're going to have an after party. And we go over somewhere and continue drinking and having fun. And people seem to like to, I invite the other comedians and people seem to like to like, hang out with them socially.
That
And
sounds.
it just
that
makes
sounds
it
hella
more of
fun.
a night out,
Yeah.
I think. And
Um,
more fun for me.
Speaking of night outs, today's Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. I was at Martuni's last night, and
What's that?
Martuni's is a piano bar.
Oh, nice.
Lovely joint. I want to say 3 martinis in, very strong.
Ooh.
I woke up today. I was like, "Where are my glasses?" And I'm like, "It's on that piano. It
It's
is
on that piano."
Like, damn
Can
it!
you get me my glasses off the piano?
Yeah.
I have the piano.
Have you gone back
Oh.
and gotten them?
I just got them,
Okay.
but I'm my neighbor is actually a piano player, and I walked home with him. I'm like, did I wear my glasses? And then I realized I had a scarf and a hat.
What
and
neighborhood
everything.
is that?
Oh, so it's off of Valencia, for Valencia, off of like I want to say right where golf hits, and then
Okay, that's a nice area.
yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
Martini's is it's
Oh, I thought that's where you lived. Sorry.
Oh, no,
Not
I-
trying to give your home address.
no, but I live in South of Market,
Okay, nice.
and so we just walked from Martini's to
Is that your regular spot?
No, actually, the Mint Karaoke Lounge, unsponsored, but
Okay.
they took me in because they're allowing me to
Everyone
work there
needs
now.
one home-based place.
Well, like I love going there so much. I was so much a regular. I applied for a job in December, and they actually gave me the job in
Were
January.
you a performer there or just hanging out?
No, I just hang out as a singer.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Oh,
as
you
a
sing
singer.
that?
I sing karaoke. It's karaoke.
Paul,
And-
do you have a regular place you hang out?
No, because I'm old,
Oh, okay.
decrepit, and I can't drink
and
anymore.
married. I
Right.
get
Oh,
married,
yeah. When you're married, that you have to hang out at home.
And I don't even
Yeah, you
drink.
have
I
to hang
just,
out at home. Like if you want to stay home.
you know, as a comedian, we have to support whatever venue we're in anyway. So,
Right.
I mean, last night I had to spend at least $4 on a seltzer water in San
Right.
Mateo.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that's
usually I have it built.
Swinging.
Usually I have drinks and food built into my shows, or I don't go there.
Well, and then I walked up and said, "Oh, can I get a refill?" And he looked at me and said, "Okay."
that's
like,
right.
So
How many
audio.
comedians were there? How many people working?
Actually, there was a lot of comedians
All right,
there.
there you
Yeah,
and-
it's a good night. Swinging door. Ariel, yes or no? Who was
Yeah.
hosting? Okay, and he's
and he did really well.
um.
He did way better than I did.
See, like I think that's weird. When I do
You're
my
a
shows,
fool.
I just have 3 comedians. I have 2, an MC, a feature, and myself.
Oh, these are both, but these are open mics.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. So I mean,
I
that
don't like
5 to
paying. I
7
don't like
minutes.
paying to go to the gym.
Right? Yeah,
I
that's,
just
they
wanna
should be
go to-
paying you,
I just want to
or
lose the
like
weight.
break even, have a beer.
Right.
But you know what? It's tough for them too. I mean, business is hard right now. For
No, I always support the place.
gen-
but
in
I
general.
guess what I'm saying is I don't actually like to.
Yo,
What
did
they
you
work
notice I
out.
just got new nails?
I
Nice.
noticed that.
Yeah. So I had these
Here, let's
stilettos.
use the nail cam.
Yeah, I had stilettos in the past, which are these long, pointy claws,
Mhm.
and I had them for 2 weeks, but it was inciting my arthritis.
Those look really good though. I like the. I like how
Thank you.
colorful they are.
Dude, Paul, for real, did you hear like it was making my knuckles hurt? My wankles, my wrist ankles were tired.
My wankles.
Yeah,
Did you say my
because
wankles?
they're stilettos, like they're fucking work to do anything. Like I couldn't hug people because I was afraid I would jab them.
Oh wow.
I'm getting really bad arthritis in my hands, and I've noticed it over the last year because of
Oh.
probably working more on computers and stuff. But then every night I give my wife a massage, and it's getting to the point of where I can only massage for a few minutes before ow.
Get that magic wand going.
Oh.
Yeah, well that
Hey, that's a good
she
old
usually
term.
does, and I'm like, hey baby, done.
That's a good old term.
I didn't mean it like that.
Because that magic
That's
wand
right.
is for
We are
everything.
Sponsored by the Talking
Right.
Magic Wand.
That's right.
When they called it, like, it's still labeled as a massager whenever you buy it. A vibrator, that is.
You know, you actually
I have a
mentioned.
joke about that.
Oh,
by
go
the way.
ahead.
No, my joke is why, ladies, why do they call it the magic wand?
Uh-huh.
When you're done, do you say ta-da?
Abracadabra.
Yeah. My stress has gone away.
That's pretty good though.
It's good for everybody, really.
It is
Cut
really
down
good
on the
for everybody.
workload, if I remember correctly.
I think it's like biased though, because
Hold on, let me think about before COVID.
vibrators are really meant for women rather than for men, but men still use them anyway. I'm just
Maybe for a woman,
and then it
but
gets
strong
quiet.
enough for a man.
I think a lot of guys in San Francisco. I think there's no shortage of guys using strap-ons in San Francisco.
That's the truth.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So when you're talking, you have to realize your audience and oh dear.
Do we have an audience?
No. Well, you are my audience at this
Did somebody
moment.
pay my parking? Is that
So-
without alarm at?
I know this, like, well, I mean, so demographically, I guess that's what I meant. Like, if we met on the street, we probably wouldn't have a lot in common to say. Cause like, when you talk about like these experiences back in Aspen and Hollywood, I've never been.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, like I'm not saying you're like extra fancy, but you're fancy in my
I'm
book.
not extra fancy.
You're fancier than what I
Oh,
am.
okay.
Have
I
you
didn't
seen
really
the
think about
jacket you're wearing? Yes.
Yes.
He is
Well, this
fancy.
is part of my
Yes.
work outfit. The gonzo shirt and the snakeskin jacket. That's how I roll.
Yeah,
That's
see,
what
the
I'm
problem is
working.
I can't wear that kind of jacket.
Okay.
Because I would look like the python tried to eat me.
I bought it. I bought it in the 90s, actually. I bought it in the
I'm getting
90s.
swallowed by this jacket.
When- I bought it when Kid Rock was king, before he was political. I had a black Mustang convertible, and I had the jacket and a goatee that wasn't gray.
Oh, that sucks. So
And
Kid
I
Rock
was
is political
I had
now?
this jacket before Nick Cage or Keith Richards, actually, who both have the exact same jacket.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
it's good company.
That sounds like a very
Nick Cage and Wild at Heart.
a very reliable jacket. Because like as you move, I could hear the
It has
flexibility of it.
It has a lot of mojo in it because I've had it a long time, and I only break it out for special stuff, like when I'm performing or at a strip club or something.
Oh,
like
well, that's awesome. So
that. Strippers love this jacket.
have you been to the Crazy Horse over here?
No, I don't really go to the places here, but too much.
I actually went for the
I'm
first
past
time.
all that.
I went to the Crazy Horse for the first time. I was waiting for the bus after OMG, and then I was like, oh look, they're opening up. I've always wondered what it looked like inside, and it's no alcohol, so it looks like
Creepy.
no, it looks like well,
I used to like Mitchell Brothers because that was kind of a classic place, but I think that's closed now, right?
Right.
it's just a
That
very
was the
center
only
stage.
place I ever went to here.
Center stage, like in Texas, the strip clubs have more like well because they serve food in the ones that I've been to in Texas. They serve food, serve alcohol, so there's like restaurant style seating for your stripper to be at your table with you if you
On
want.
this side of town, they have the Gold Room, and they have a steakhouse.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I'm
I had a
hungry.
really good steak.
I know in Atlanta though they actually.
Here's the problem: you never hear that.
Yeah.
phrase, ever.
I'll have the tacos.
No, okay. No. Okay, so unsponsored Rick's Cabaret back in Texas. Me and my ex-husband would go on the Fridays because they serve prime rib, and they would actually have the chef or whatever.
Dancing
Yeah.
on the steak.
No, the attendant like cut it off the prime rib for you. So for I think it was
They're like carving it off the pole.
no, but it was $14.99 and it was delicious.
Oh wow. What's
Delicious. It was
$14.99?
good prime rib, more or less.
I was looking in your neighborhood. A falafel's like $17 now.
Oh well.
You have one of those voices like I do with the voiceover, and so I just thought of a funniest voiceover parody that you got to do for the
Write it
studio
down.
after this. I was looking.
That's
Yay.
right. It's the Hood Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
It's try.
That's
our
how he
fish
recruits
tacos.
you. That's how
The
he
radio
recruits
ads
you.
will cost extra, Paul.
Let me tell you, I came here as a guest for Christopher Shapiaski, not Christopher. Oh my God, Chris. That's his government name. It's not even Christopher. It's Christian.
Okay.
Shapiaski.
Yeah, you can't- everybody that says his last name says it wrong. Even he says it wrong.
Picassi. Yeah, the close enough.
Gia Capazzi, yeah.
Yeah. So ever since I've been a guest here, I would just like kind of hover, and I'm like, you don't have a guest? I'd come by and say hi.
Are
and
you
then-
hang out hoping people wouldn't show up and then you could jump in?
No, not necessarily. I just come up, show up, and then like wouldn't leave unless they told me to.
Are you like Paul's groupie?
No. But now I'm actually a tenant.
Okay.
I'm actually.
Is that what inspired you to start the podcast?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. Just hanging around.
Yeah. Okay. So
Why would you be hanging around in the basement of the Oddfellows building, if you don't mind my asking?
as it turns out, I like these guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what
Paul-
brought you down here initially, I
Paul
guess, is
and
my
Chris.
question.
Well, Chris invited me to be his guest,
Ah.
and Chris's show was a good opportunity to sit, banter, and kind of find out that I really do like podcasting.
Are there millions of podcasts, literally?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, so there are a zillion, and now that even the pandemic really created a lot too, and
There-
so it really depends on what sets yours apart.
Yeah, exactly. There may be a million, but there's not a million JoMamas.
There's only one
Right.
JoMama.
Thank you. Yes.
Joe
And then
Mama
when-
live on Tuesdays.
And if you're spending the afternoon with me,
Well,
Yeah.
even the show that
And in the afternoon with Joe Mama.
even the couple shows that you've been on, JoMama here, both interviewers have such a different style.
they do. They do. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's right. I've been Luke's guest too.
Right.
Oh my word.
How many do you run out of here?
Well, I won't give up our grand numbers. I might have to take off.
Right.
Break your books out now.
Like 20 different?
No. So we have spots for 30, but no.
Wow.
We're not even at like the 10%.
Okay. So you can.
Well, no, we're at 10%.
So people who are interested can contact you and have a podcast.
Yo, Gonzo, I think it's hilarious. You were like, "Did you watch my thing? Did you watch my thing?" And then you're like, "You like karaoke? Oh my god, you don't watch none of my content."
No, I
either."
just did. The karaoke is not what I'm kind of about these days.
No, I understand.
Karaoke, as much as I appreciate your skills.
No,
And
but
I
you're
did watch it.
allowed
I
to.
just wasn't sure I wanted it on my Facebook page. Not that I'm against it.
But
When I lived in Asia, I butchered Hotel California so many times I should be writing checks for the Eagles.
oh my god, people were talking so much mess on karaoke about how that's for like the titas who are about to cook their pancits, and I was like, thanks,
What's your go-to song?
Valerie.
How about you, Paul?
I think we said that we talked about this last week.
Yeah,
There's so many.
yeah.
I have a playlist.
He has
on
a playlist
YouTube.
of
Mine's
songs.
Wonderwall by Oasis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
whitest song of all time, really.
Oh
It is. It's the English guy. You know Oasis? The English band, the brothers,
no,
Liam and Noel Gallagher. For me, that's a pretty modern reference because they were only like what they peaked in '96, right?
but 96.
What's the story, Morning Glory?
What's
They had the
story,
Champagne Supernova and
Okay, I hear
Wonderwall.
familiar name
Yeah.
titles. Mm.
that's what people were jamming. That might have been like the last records that sold because that was right before internet started kind of taking over how people.
I'm trying to remember
Consumed
the
music.
other one song that was mine was "I'd Melt for You." I'm trying to remember who did that.
Oh, nice.
I do some Doors songs. I do "Love Me 2 Times"
I
and
need
"Love Her
to, like,
Madly"
look-
because I worship Jim Morrison.
I need to look into that genre because that's a
Do
genre
you
that
love her madly?
I don't touch into. But Painted Black, I love that song.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
intro to
Every Vietnam movie.
to True Blood.
Thank you, Paul.
No.
Nice
There you
lead in.
That's right. Don't forget Fish Taco Friday.
I
I'll
wish
be
I
two
had
for
one
one
of
with
those
a
voices.
shot of tequila.
Yo, can you do a what is that called? Those people who do the I get nervous when I get when
You
you're
guys listening on AMSR.
$500 going for $200. Those
Like
bidders.
an auctioneer?
Auctioneer, yeah. Can you do the
We got the
auctioneer
guy
talk?
over to the left. We want the horse. Who wants the
Well,
horse? $400, $800 for the horse. Do I hear eight,
Yes.
1200 for the horse? Who
So-
wants to spend $1,400 for the horse?
There's a psychology behind that. The fear of missing out. The fear of motherfucking missing out. When people talk like that, it's like,
Wow.
oh my God, what am I missing out on? Where's the horse? Tell me where this horse is.
Well, this is I think the auction started before the internet, so before you could go onto Craigslist,
yes.
people needed to
No.
sell that car.
Okay,
We
this-
have a Toyota wagon. We're going to start at 400 for the Toyota.
No, Temu
There's
does
a
that.
family living in the back. They're free.
Temu does that. They give you that
Auctioneer.
auctioneer feeling,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're like, this is going and only 2 left, and you save 30% if you buy it within the next 9 seconds.
Like the car salesman I was dealing with the other day. I got the VinFast SUV. Special ends today. We've only got 8 left in the state.
Oh,
Not sponsored by VinFast,
You know what? When I
but
feel
I like
pressure,
it. It's an SUV from Vietnam.
oh, I've
Not
never-
sponsored again.
So that's a non-familiar. That's an international car. Do they sell that here?
They just launched here, I guess. and they're doing some crazy deals supposedly. I don't want to plug them because they're not giving me any
Well,
discounts.
okay, I because it just brings me back to when I was stationed in Germany. I realized that there are other vehicles that I've never heard of, like
They're new.
Opel.
They're new. Paul, let me ask you something. What do you think of those electric cars? I get nervous about if I have to plug it in.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah,
so
you have an
I've
electric
got
car
one.
now.
Oh, you have one.
hybrid. I've got a hybrid, and yes, I am concerned if the car is networked like a Tesla, which I don't like. I don't like the idea of anything auto driving at this point.
Okay.
Right, and then
Not if you can't be drunk while they're doing it.
and I don't like anybody that can hack into stuff.
Okay.
So hacking, so anything
Making you like turn
left.
left when you want to turn right.
And I want a combustion engine. I want to be able to push on the
The
gas.
hybrid has both though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It
So
has-
why don't you just buy a regular car?
because I got paid from the state of California
Oh, there's incentive.
to
Right.
get rid of my 1997 Saturn that I bought for I forget, $500 or something.
That's insane.
Anyway, they gave me $10,000 to turn.
Wow.
Yeah, subsidies are
I like
freaking
the,
awesome.
Have you seen the microbus, the VW? It's like electric. That's what I've been, but they haven't come out in the U.S. yet. But I've seen
We're
a bunch
large,
of YouTube.
we're large guys, so I'm afraid of driving my car. I have a Chevy Volt, and I literally it's such a nice car.
Is
to
that
be
your
buried
hybrid?
in.
Is
Okay.
it
To be
Chevy
buried
Volt?
in, because they're not going to be able to get me out.
Wow. I'm not that big.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
a
as big
small,
as you.
like,
We have the
jaws
fin
of
filter on.
life.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I was talking about.
You have an electric car also?
No, oh shit. Since the divorce, I'm driving my mother's RAV4.
Okay, I got an e-bike chained to a piano outside.
Yeah, they're probably not going to steal your bike down here.
Also
Did you
not
see the
sponsored
art?
by Baggy e-bikes.
Did you see all the beautiful art that's hanging? That's been there untouched. Nobody's tried to steal it. Even I have not stolen
Well, let's
any.
not put the word
Isn't that nice?
Especially the Jim Morrison
I'm just
poster.
saying, some of those pieces would look really nice in my apartment. Oh, is this
Look
for
at that.
free? They left this behind.
And having things that are untouched in San Francisco
It's
is
this finders
Yeah.
keepers.
Most of the art in my apartment is Grateful Dead related. That's how you can tell I'm a bachelor. You walk in, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Big picture of Jerry Garcia greets you. You
well,
know?
that's why Jim Morrison is there.
Yeah.
because he's actually a poster that came
It's
out
like,
of my place.
but I-
Because my wife, when I got married, she goes, "I'll say I do."
She wouldn't let you keep it.
if you get rid of anything, it's not framed.
That's
Right.
amazing. Do you think when they were taking that picture, they knew they would be in your living room?
I mean, I think for single guys, yeah, you put up it's like a sophomore dorm room.
Right.
My house is pretty much all I need. I even have the hue lighting, the colored lights.
Yeah. Even
What
if
you
you
need.
walk in my office, I've got like a 4-foot by 6-foot poster of a John Belushi.
Okay, your
Whole
wife
house.
made you take that out too.
I took that out too.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I think it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad, like, that's a good compromise.
Oh, no, it's a good thing. Believe me, because my house was way more eclectic than this studio, and you see how eclectic this place is. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah, 'cause
Mine
you
has,
have
like-
more in the other office too. I mean, in the first room, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mine is more like the dorm with an REI touch because I have a faux fur hammock in my living room, skis.
REI.
You know, like my two e-bikes plugged in by my kitchen
Minimalist?
because I don't want to leave them outside. Not really minimalist, more like sporting equipment than rock posters,
Practical.
I guess. Yeah, what a man in his 50s should be. Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, you were like, wow, this is a really nice condo, but you made it look like a dorm. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You've got a penthouse, but it looks like a dorm room.
You dragged down the rent.
Yeah, basically. I'm the only one in my complex with like a steal your face sticker on the front door.
It's making you do a puzzle thing to
Yeah.
keep on
On live, yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I don't believe you're.
We
Are
couldn't
you
give
a
the
robot?
we couldn't give the internet a break.
Well, apparently people have been re-streaming their old streams, and so technically, I guess that would be like a robot. Like bots can do that, so
Sure.
that's why they're like, "Are you
It's
a
a
real person?"
restreamer.
Well, so even these guys, anybody that comes in here, we stream out, and we usually simultaneously, like right now, you're streaming. Thank you for live viewers on all 4 platforms. So like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Africa TV. But there's times where you want to do a replay, or you want to add a different intro to an old show, like, hey, it's President's Day, and you know where I am, Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
That's where I spend my President's Day. I don't know.
Have
But
you-
anyway, so I'm not going to be here. So here's an oldie but a goodie throwback Thursday. Boom.
Right.
And so they do a fake little intro. They throw one of their other ones on, and they,
I will.
Do you
say,
have
like,
like how many people are watching now? Can you tell?
I have a dashboard. I can tell
Yeah.
how fast we're going and about when we're going to crash.
He's a real engineer.
We have like thousands of people on with us.
Thousands. I'm telling you. So even I even have all the nerdy stuff. Here's all the nerdy stuff.
Wow. Wow, we do have over 1,000 people.
So there's
Hello,
nerdy
everybody
stuff.
out in live stream land.
Yeah, I wish it was over 1,000. But you know what? You can. So it depends on the host, which again, I'm sitting here, I'm spending your podcast talking about what I do.
Thank you. I was actually gonna say something, but I
Thank
already
you.
forgot what
Let
I
No,
your
go
mama
ahead.
take over.
But what I'm saying is every host has their
Again,
own,
I'm
they
gonna
drive their
tell
own
you,
vehicle.
I never
Yeah,
lost
you're
control.
like the Ed McMahon of the podcast world.
If I could only go, yes, sir. And just keep letting her talk.
Here's JoMama.
If I could just stop talking. Go ahead, JoMama.
Too late. I already lost my train of thought. So ADHD really sucks. Okay. And I knew that when they started prescribing me the medication, I had been diagnosed. And a lot of people go undiagnosed. And it sucks because you have to understand that your brain is working at this like speed. And I don't like taking the medication, honestly. I only did it for school so I could finish college successfully. And
What's that, like Adderall?
Concerta, it's a Ritalin.
Is that like the budget Adderall?
I guess so. It's the
Okay.
military veterans.
Okay. Oh,
Version.
that's what they give the soldiers, kind of thing. Keep you up, keep you awake.
No, sir, I was in college.
Okay.
Okay, so when I was
Military
diagnosed-
college?
No, okay, so I went to college in 2010. I graduated 2014 and then got my master's 2015. Okay, so my whole point being is like I don't like that I don't have an attention span and I can't focus.
Where did you go to college?
So I actually graduated from St. Mary's University and I got my bachelor's
That's a Jewish institution, right?
Jesuit, yes.
No,
You're like the
Jesuit.
worst person for
It is.
ADHD.
No,
Like,
no,
you're
no,
gonna tell you.
no. But it's keeping me on my toes.
Okay.
But bachelor's in business marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, but how did you know that St. Mary's University would be?
I
It
was
is
making
a
a joke. I
Jesuit.
said Jewish.
No, but you're funny though. It is a
Well,
Jesuit.
How about you, Paul? Where'd you go?
To college?
Yeah.
I've stalked many a college.
Okay.
I never attended.
Okay. You learned all this on your own.
Yeah, on the streets.
Okay, nice.
On
On the hard streets of Malibu.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like how you became yourself.
streets of
You know,
San Francisco.
everybody became themselves somehow, one way or another. We're all skilled one way.
I went to school at CU Boulder, so I got to follow Coach Prime last season.
See,
They brought Deion Sanders over.
are you? Wait, I can't tell. What are you talking about? Where you graduated from?
Yeah, I
college?
went to CU Boulder, University of Colorado at Boulder.
Oh wow!
And that was this year. They had Deion Sanders was their coach, and that was like all over.
Was
the
that just
media.
this year?
Yeah, Coach Prime. It was his like first year as the coach.
Football.
Yeah,
Where was he coaching before that? Because I know.
he was like the most popular athlete of the '80s or '90s. He played
No, yeah,
baseball and football, and then he was at what's it called? It's like an all African American school, HBC something.
But like, isn't he coaching there because his son attends that
His
college?
son does it. He has two sons on the team. Yeah.
So I kind of don't feel that great about talking about sports because
Sorry.
I was no, because that's the thing that I used to do with my ex,
Oh, okay.
and then it just makes me like, why am I even? I don't even have to impress him anymore. It's just like,
Here we go, Paul.
Why don't they have different
Here
balls?
we go.
Let's all have
Here
the
we
same
go,
ball.
Paul. It's all about the X.
No, oh my God. I remember when I first started dating this guy, my ex-husband, he loved Barry Sanders so much and he was just retiring. Barry Sanders was just retiring from football. And I read, as a cop in the Air Force, I read newspapers, the newspapers they leave at the gates. And I read his stats and studied it so that I could recite this to
Ah,
this
that's
man.
sweet.
Yeah. And then I was married to him for 18 years and escaped
Feigned
it
interest
since.
and it worked.
Yeah. 18 motherfucking
Think,
years,
think
though.
of that, ladies. If you want to land your man, just feign interest in what he's interested in. For
Well,
me, that might be a chuckle fucker. I'm not sure. I don't know,
Yeah.
Paul. Is that what they call them? Chuckle fuckers.
That's what they call them.
But
Oh,
I
low
had
self-esteem,
staying power,
daddy
that's what he
issues,
calls
whatever,
it.
whatever works is what I like to say.
well, I want to call it magic. Like, I worked my magic.
Chemistry with alcohol.
I didn't even drink or smoke back then. I was sober. I was in the Air Force.
Well, were you flying?
See, okay. Does everybody think that the Air Force is only made of planes?
No, I just thought I'd ask.
No, I was a cop, which I said.
Okay, I didn't know cops fly. I don't know what's going on. I've never been in the military.
Are the Marines always on the water? Or the Navy always on the water?
Thank you for your service.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you
It
for
was an
not being high
honor.
while you were flying the jets. Appreciate
Oh
that.
shit, that's what he said. He's like, I'm telling him I smoke a lot of weed, and he's like, great, a cop who smokes hella weed, and I'm like, I didn't do it when I was a cop, and
Weed's legal, so it's like you drink a lot of coffee, smoke a lot of weed, carries the same weight, right? I mean,
I don't agree with any of those things.
I actually stopped. I actually stopped smoking weed when it became legal because I thought they were mislabeling it. Like they had this weed, they're like, "This is Blue Dream." I looked at it, I go, "No, this is unemployed forever. I don't want to. I don't want to be smoking that."
I don't trust the system.
Yeah, I don't try. Once it became legal, it went from like being like exciting to buy weed to like an errand.
I ain't gonna lie. I buy from dispensaries, yes, but I will prefer to buy from friends because it's not taxed. Oh shit.
It's not tested.
It's not taxed.
But don't you remember when it was just exciting to go to Hippie Hill and try to find the guy?
I'm just saying because the tax is like practically the cost of the weed. You're paying when you go to the
It's
dispensary.
absurd.
Yeah, you're paying like $50 in like the fees and
Actually,
stuff.
I'd say all taxes in California pretty
Okay.
overpriced.
Yeah, I have to do taxes this year for the first time.
So
As
you
a
didn't
single
smoke weed the
person.
whole time you were in the military, so you're kind of making up for lost time. I'm on the other side of the spectrum.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm okay. So
I used all my coupons.
I'm 44. I've got nothing left.
Oh. Paul, it's a slippery slope.
It is. Watch out. Whoa!
Just don't try the hard stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
You kids stay away from everything else.
So
You don't want to end up in a snakeskin jacket playing the Purple Onion. I'll
oh
tell you.
my word.
I'll tell you that.
Tell me this much. What is your plans for after this show? What are you doing today in San Francisco? Are you just heading back home?
Me, I'm going to go home. I'm going to take the ferry back home. I'm going to e-bike, try to get to my house without killing myself on the e-bike, see my dog. And then Thursday I have a show, like I said, at Amber. And then Friday we're making a music video at this place called Burnt Ramen. It's kind of an underground
Oh,
club
that
in
sounds-
Richmond. It's in Richmond. And if you Google it, it's a pretty famous place making a music video. So I'm kind of excited about it. I don't sing. I just write lyrics. And I write lyrics and herd together the artists so they show up with some semblance of being. It's very tough, right, Paul?
Right.
You know, the guitar guy and the rapper and the hip hop guy, but the space is amazing because it's inside. There's graffiti everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like you stay pretty busy. You stay pretty busy. Are you hitting a lot of shows? Is that what's going on? Like every week?
No, I don't really do that many shows. I do a lot of like screenwriting. So I have a couple screenplay projects. I have
Okay.
a couple things that were optioned. And
Projects.
because I've made the arts my job,
Mm-hmm.
I try to be busy every day, like doing something constructive to move my career forward. As you know, with comedy, it's not just going out and telling jokes. You got to set up the gig and set up the venue and hire other comics and do the advertising and do the posters. If you want to make any money, you have to have your own shows. Otherwise, it's like,
So when I was in
Good
the Air
luck eating.
Force,
good luck eating, Paul.
when I
I'll
was
be I'll be getting $20. Good luck eating.
that's my point
like to
being that
eat.
when I was in the Air Force, I was the cop that was watching the plane. So there, as you can see, there's like so many things that go into to
Right.
things, and you're very detailed.
Yeah, you have to
Very
be. Otherwise,
detailed.
it doesn't work.
Well, I think like a lot of people miss the details or don't even share the fact that they have so much information.
It's
'Cause,
like terrifying to me when I'm waiting for acts like I haven't worked with to show up because I only work with two other
Yes.
acts. And if they're like 10 minutes late and they don't understand like a month in advance, I'm like, I need your cell phone number. I'm not trying to date you. I will start calling you like a motherfucker if you're late for the show and there's people outside. You know what I mean?
Well,
Right.
So far, so good though. Everyone's been pretty good with showing up.
not people are not too
know.
many are persistent, but I'm just looking at the messages between you and what's so bad is like I was reading your messages, but by the time I finish reading everything, I forget to respond because again ADHD, and I reading your messages, I sat there and I took notes.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so that's why when you had all these questions, I'm like, I am better prepared than you think I am. I'm like, I am not as
I
ill
came in with
prepared
no
as you think.
expectations.
You,
When
but
I saw the building, I knew I was in for an adventure. When I saw the neighborhood and the building, I knew this was not going to be a normal gig.
Well, you said you walk into the elevator, it looks like something out of The Shining, and then all of a
Well,
sudden,
the heavy metal guy, I didn't know.
dude.
The big heavy metal guy with a big picture of Satan on his back.
y'all are
playing
calling
Slayer.
it the elevator, but I
You
call
get
it the
into
lift.
the lift, and he's like, "Yeah, you're
There
down
you
below.
go.
You're down
Yeah.
below."
I love this place. But what's so funny is I must look different every time because every time I come in, they're like, do you know where to go? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been running my podcast here for this is my third time, but I've been visiting this place a lot, and they still don't recognize me.
They don't recognize you?
No, but my hair is always changing
Do
colors.
a lot of like random people try to walk in here because the front door's open?
Well, that's why even when you came down here, I'm like, okay, who's this guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you hear
Now we're all
footsteps,
best
right?
friends.
When you hear anything, you're like, who's down here?
And if I have my studio dog here, my road dog, my Ace, he'll run
Oh,
and
yeah.
jump off the couch, run, and he'll go to the edge of the door and bark once, and then run down to the elevator.
Okay. I locked my e-bike up to a piano, so I assume.
It's a working piano too.
Yeah.
It's a working e-bike.
Yeah. Unless someone's dragging the
No.
piano down the street with my e-bike right now,
I hope
Going
not.
down
I'm
Mission.
hoping the lock is working.
heading down Mission.
Oh shit, we were just talking. Okay, so you guys, for some reason, we were talking about taxes, and I just remembered I have to do taxes. Tax date is still April 15th, right? That's the deadline, April 15th.
Rough
Yes.
subject.
No, it is
Because
a
my
rough subject
birthday's the
because
16th.
I don't get paid at any of my shows.
no, it makes me so sad because I've been doing taxes as a married woman. Now I'm like separate, individual.
Yeah.
I'm doing it on my own and
Do you have an
filing in
accountant?
California. My ex-husband was a
Do you have an accountant?
My ex-husband
now?
was an accountant. So it was his job to do taxes. And you know what he did? He went to H&R Block.
You know, Paul. Even when I'm broke, I pay my CPA $450 to do it. It's very painful,
but
it's nice to have one guy and know where all your stuff is.
Yeah.
And actually get a little counseling along the way. I'm not going to mention them because I've been going through some crazy stuff today. But a good accountant for everyone out there.
No,
It's
for sure.
worthwhile.
If you
I
have
think so. It's worthwhile.
if
I
you
married
have
mine.
money,
Oh,
yeah,
your wife's
there
an
you go.
accountant?
She's my accountant.
Okay. She does the taxes?
Give me your paycheck.
Here's the deal. You don't
I'm not
have
married. I have to hire a guy.
you don't have an accountant unless you have money to manage. And if you have money to manage, yeah, you should have an accountant, or at least a financial advisor.
You know, it's someone who can advise you on, sometimes, there's different ways to do stuff.
And I think it's important to have a
You
financial
know,
advisor.
one minute I might be over at, Grocery Outlet flexing with the EBT. The next minute I'm in a new car. Who knows? You know what I mean? It's a lot of transitioning going on.
Yeah, I would say lay off the stripper club.
I don't go. I don't
Oh
go.
my gosh.
I use my dog as the only emotional support I get.
Yo, so as a veteran, I get in for free.
Oh, well, you
I
get a
do.
lot of free stuff.
Back in Texas, you only have to pay the poll tax, which was $5. But here, they don't charge the veterans for the poll
I
tax.
actually
It's
have two
free.
friends who are vets and really good friends, and they both get tons of free stuff.
You just
They
have
get
to ask.
concert tickets.
Well, it's okay. It's not like it's thrown at you. You have to research these things and find them. So, yes, as a veteran, if you state your status, I am a veteran. Do you have any discounts? They will offer it to you. Oh my God. Did you hear that pop? That was my neck.
But you guys get like a lot of
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
you
so
get a lot of concert tickets.
it's available. They put a set amount aside, but we have to look for it.
And free Clipper cards.
Yes, that's a fortunate thing.
I'm all
So,
for it.
dude, what kills me is people treat the transit system as though it's free. It's not free. It's just people don't pay.
But I've never seen anyone in Richmond actually use the Clipper card. I've seen people, they put a second turnstile. It's like 6 feet tall. I'm not kidding. People
No
are doing
way.
backflips over that with a fucking skateboard. It's like the Hood Olympics down there. I've never seen anybody use a Clipper card. Not one time. I've lived in Richmond 50.
Yeah.
Also, the cell phone snatch and run. You've seen that a few times.
Yeah, it's
They
not
grab
the
the
X-
cell
It's
phone.
not the X Games. It's the X-Con game.
Yes, that's right.
This
It's
is
the
how it
Hood
is in
Olympics.
Richmond.
They got to go right out the door right before they close. Yeah, I see a lot of that. See a lot of falling down the escalator. A lot of that stuff going on in Richmond.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So
it's a special. It's a last stop.
It's
I mean,
more like, oh, no.
Everything rolls towards the end. Like if you're too wasted to get off the train, you end up in Richmond.
unsponsored and all.
Yeah, we're
I
not
know.
sponsored by Bart. We won't be releasing any video.
I know that's not the area that I want to choose to like raise my children. Then I guess right.
Where, in the BART station?
Yeah, definitely not at the BART
You
station.
kids
Oh my
get
God.
away from the turnstile.
Yo.
There's someone jumping over it.
So when my kids learned to take public transportation when we moved here to California, she was like, I don't know what to do because there was no public transportation accessible to us in the suburbs of Texas. We lived in a very rural area.
Right.
And it's the suburbs that I worked hard to raise my family, my
It's a lot
children.
of driving around.
Yeah, there's no walking and no public transportation. That's for sure. So now I feel like it's a liberty, it's a freedom, it's access that I didn't have before when I was restricted to being a mother. I mean, like, driving my kids around because I wouldn't do that with my kids.
When I was a kid, I grew up in Long Island, and we had the train that would go literally like from near my house to Madison Square Garden. It would let you off at Madison Square Garden.
Did you take public transportation with
we
your
would
parents?
take the train to go see rock concerts almost every fucking weekend.
Oh, that's when you
Pink
became
Floyd,
like an
All the
adolescent.
Brothers, Grateful Dead, Deep Purple, Blue Oyster Cult, Kinks, The Who.
I just don't.
Everybody would go get on the train when you're in high school, and everyone would get drunk on the train and smoke on the train. You'd go, and they'd drop you off at Madison Square Garden.
I think for that very reason is why I don't want to bring my 5-year-old on public transportation. It's just
I
like
don't know if you could do that in New
I
York
can't
now. I don't
restrict
know.
what she
Probably could.
sees, and on like San Francisco Muni.
The problem is now, Paul, is the expense of the ticket. The tickets used to be $20 to see all those concerts.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that isn't now.
And the promoters and everybody else still got their piece of the pie.
Yeah. Now
It
it's
was
like
just
$190, $400
For
to see
general
Billy
admission?
Joel,
Is that for general admission or is that
Well,
for,
like, okay, the Dad and Co., which is what's left of the Grateful Dead with John Mayer and all that, they're playing the Sphere in Vegas. Tickets are like $1,000.
Okay, so
Like, I remember sleeping on the roof of the van. You know what I mean? When Jerry was alive, and I would kind of weasel in, or maybe spend $10 on a ticket, or float over the gate, or whatever.
Yeah, it's like even like I remember Frost Amphitheater, you could get tickets for like $15.
Right now,
Good
it's like
acid for $3.
oh my
now
god,
you want to hear the same song.
good acid, not bad acid.
Well, you kids, stay away from the acid.
Yeah.
You want to end up in a snakeskin jacket in the basement of the Oddfellows building.
I'm telling you.
No, it should be an AARP meeting right now. I'll tell you that.
Shit, I'm just trying to figure out if I can go get my glasses after this podcast because
At the piano bar?
yes.
Nice.
I'm just okay. So I really just got these in the mail 2 weeks ago because every time I lose my glasses, I can never keep a set of glasses. That's how unintentional I am on keeping my glasses. Like I don't believe in wearing my
Are
glasses.
they prescription?
Yes. Like,
Yeah, you don't want
yes.
to lose those.
Oh my god! But obviously, somebody told me I don't deserve to have glasses if I keep on losing them because she really can't see without a prescription, and I feel for her. Like some people are really blind. And,
I am. I have
Paul, can you see without your
are right
glasses?
off camera right here.
Yes, I can, and I can read a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff.
You-
I can't read a lot of the stuff on my phone if I have my glasses on.
Paul, in the old days,
In
I
the
would
old
bring a
days.
set list on stage when I did stand up so I wouldn't have to remember the order of the joke. Now, I can't see without my glasses, and I don't like wearing glasses on stage. And so now I have to actually remember the stuff, which is
You have to
another
commit to-
that was another
Oh,
reason
yeah,
I
to-
had to stop smoking weed so I could remember the fucking jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no more lists for me. I need a cue card like this big.
I see. I'm a functional weed smoker,
Okay.
so I think like when I don't smoke weed, that's when I'm become unfunctional. When I'm sober, I'm just like, oh my god, what is wrong?
Yeah.
Why does this feel off? And it's like, oh, I haven't smoked my weed today.
Sponsored by Oaksterdam.
literally made a couple errors yesterday and realized I hadn't smoked.
Yeah.
Why-
You had to get
oh.
back to your equilibrium.
It's like, why do I feel off? Oh,
Uh,
I'm
Took me about 5 weeks to transition. Yeah.
Terrible. Like as it turns out, we have issues.
jittery and stuff.
I'm gaining equilibrium.
Talking about jittery, I noticed that I want to say in my late 30s, mid 30s, I started to realize that I shake, I tremble. And I'm like, that's not exciting. That's not exciting at all. I wasn't doing drugs. I just tremble.
Were you cold?
No, I just tremble. And I was like, when did this? But so now I'm so in control of myself. Like when I start to feel like I'm trembling, I'm like, calm the fuck down. Not until you're
When
60.
you tremble here, it's like an earthquake.
Wait, 60 or 70? When's a good time to start trembling? Because I don't want to start trembling now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just wait for the quake.
I'm just saying, it's like, it's an age thing, right? When you get older, you start to
Well,
lose.
it's a nervous system.
There you
Yeah,
go.
different things break down at different times.
Right.
Do you know when we have kids that,
We've had kids. JoMama. This is like a Jerry Springer. You're not going to throw a DNA thing at me, are you?
You are on the podcast.
Jesus, I
When-
do have kids in the Philippines. I knew it.
When women have kids, their body has to morph it, like change to feed this thing. We become a host, right?
Yeah,
For this not a parasite thing growing in us. Parasite sounds wrong, but what I'm saying is, there's a point where our vagina opens
Uh-oh,
up.
Paul.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Have you been in my pants again?
And this whole human comes out, and people be talking to us women, mothers specifically, as though we haven't been through things.
Paul, you've seen Alien. You've seen that movie Alien.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, no,
Don't make me squeamish, JoMama.
no, for real. Their little feet, their little hands be pushing out on your skin.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's why I only have a
little
dog.
Randy Newman song. They got little hands. And little
I
feet.
love kids. I love kids.
Paul,
I
do you
love
have
my
kids?
kids.
I do.
Okay.
See?
I'm the only child-free person here.
No, but you have a pet,
I
and
have Charlie Marley the Wonder Dog.
you're obligated to make sure that pet doesn't die.
He's
That's
watching
almost
the
like
video
kids.
right now.
He's watching the video.
I wonder if
right
he's
now.
watching the stream. That would maybe.
Yeah, he waited for you to leave
Yeah.
before he turned off the YouTube.
He's giving me. I'm giving him anxiety.
Dog
Like
video.
my master is fucking embarrassing me now. He's not plugging
Shout
me.
out to the dog.
He's
What
not
up?
plugging me hard enough.
Oh my
I
goodness.
do a lot of dog material in my.
Shout out to my DO.
The mistake of not
Double
eating
G, baby.
before the show is like, at this point, it's just like 15 minutes, 15 minutes to the end. I'm like, I am hungry.
Yeah, so we got about 23
Are you
minutes
taking
left.
us out to eat?
I am starving. I don't get paid enough to do this.
I took my
Like,
dog on
who's
stage.
paying? Who's paying us to do this?
I took my dog on stage at Comedy Day.
How was it? Oh, you did the outside show
Ace.
at Golden Gate Park.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's always
I was
fun.
kind of thinking of doing that. Is that Pat Katzman who puts that together?
Actually, that's funny. That's part of the Katzman. The Katzmans are part of the crew.
I've been to that, but I've never worked it because I don't really like doing stand up during daytime. But it's an iconic event,
Right.
and it's everyone's doing it during
Is
the
it
day.
your circadian rhythm?
Did you get some laughs?
Yeah. Absolutely. I got.
Have you
some.
done that gig?
No, gosh, but I thought it was odd that you said you don't do comedy during the day. Is it a circadian rhythm thing?
Oh
like
no, I
it's
had a
too
bad
bright outside?
experience on the top of Aspen Mountain. We were doing comedy during the day, and I was like, "This is not my." I don't know. It was too distracting.
Oh,
It's
they
too
say-
nice up there, you
Oh.
know.
They tell you that comedy doesn't work during the day or in a well lit room or.
Yeah, there's
But with that
preferred
said,
layout.
I've been starting a lot of shows at 6 and 6:30 now.
Right.
Because my crowd is 50s and up, and it's usually like a winery, yacht club, something like that.
Mhm.
They don't want to stay up till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
They want to be done at 9.
They want to be
I
in
can go
bed.
do the after party if someone else wants to come with me.
Right.
But usually they want to go home, and they're not even getting onto TikTok as a role. They're just watching Netflix, going to sleep.
That's why when you said like party afterwards, I'm like, oh man, that sounds so
That's
tiresome.
because I'm excited from the show myself.
Okay, so I understand that. I want to say when I started comedy, every time I had a good open mic set, I was like on a high for
Yeah, you
hours.
don't want to go home and waste that. Well, also I'm single, so what am I going to do? Go home and
Okay,
like?
that was the closest thing to a runner's high that
Oh, yeah.
I've ever experienced.
Have
like,
you ever really had a killer show where you really crushed?
no, but I still get
That's-
high off
but
of
that's
shit
the
like that
feeling.
anyway.
That's why people who have had this money, like Jerry Seinfeld or someone like that, would keep doing stand up because you can't buy that high.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. That's why I do it. I don't know about you, Paul.
No, I used to ride motorcycles and do a lot of other things to
To get that adrenaline
the
rush.
adrenaline fix, and now it's that.
Yeah. I get it.
Even last night, I told you guys I bombed, and it's like, okay, that's.
But
rare
the
that
opposite-
it's rare that I bomb, but then
It's still exciting.
it's like halfway through, you're like, okay, I kept changing gears, and at one point, I'm like, okay, embrace the bomb, lean into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I was, and it was funny. I go, that's
You weren't
why.
getting paid. Who cares? You
Well, the
never-
comic that went up before me ended with like, okay, thanks guys. Now I'm gonna go kill myself over at the bar or something like that.
Oh,
And I
'cause
go-
he bombed
I go,
too?
you think that's just one of our hobbies? I go, we are really depressed people. We do suicide.
Oh man.
I go, I like to kill myself a little bit every night, and I'm doing it in 7-minute intervals.
You work every night?
No, I wish. I need to do more.
Okay.
Because I work here, or I've got a large family, I raise
Right.
kids. I'm all over the day.
I feel like because I have like a fan base, I can't work every night because they wouldn't come to see me every night.
I'm also
Like
a
they
healthcare
barely
worker.
come to see me every 3 weeks, you know?
Oh yeah, no.
And I have to write new material for them. It's a lot of,
I haven't gathered a fan base.
it helps.
It helps. My
Clubs
fan base
like
were
you
my
better.
kids.
Clubs like you better and think you're funnier.
Like my kids had to be my fan base. They
Yeah.
relied on me for life.
Well, you were probably feeding them.
Sustenance, yes. So now I'm transitioning to this life, this single life, whatever this is,
Okay.
or out in the wild.
How does it feel?
I don't understand what's going on most of the time. I'm like, oh my God, normally I would have my daughter with me, but because I don't, I have this liberty to feel comfortable like around San Francisco.
I'm just glad I don't have to do dating apps ever. I never had to do
Oh
dating
my
apps. Last time I did a
gosh.
dating thing was like I turned in a VHS videotape.
No way. A
Came back a
promo.
week later and watched 5 other videotapes.
I don't really do any of them. I will. If
That's
I meet an interesting,
hilarious.
if I meet an interesting woman online, I'll invite her to the show. That's about as far as I'll go.
No.
Sending a dick pic was a Polaroid.
Oh my God.
And then you stick
Wow.
it in an envelope a week later.
Were you in? Oh, you were in politics. You were in politics.
Yeah.
Here's what I believe. Dick pics were not to this degree where you can like edit, not edit, but like pick the perfect angle and everything. Before you had to get the pictures developed and shit. So a dick pic was different. It would be like a
It had
smushy
more
dick.
value.
Yeah, it would be
It had more
smushy dick pic.
It was in the bottom drawer.
It's keepers for
Your
real.
collection of dick pics. Thank you. They're like trading cards.
So I didn't start admiring dick pics till after
Dick pic
I left
trading
my,
cards.
my
Hey,
marriage.
how you doing?
'Cause, like-
JoMama, that's your new sponsor.
Well, for real, like if my husband sent me a dick pic, I'd be like, "What's wrong with it?"
I would only buy upper deck dick pic trading cards.
Trading.
bat-
Look, it's got a hologram in this one.
Oh my
With the
god.
batting average next to it.
Yeah, really.
Works most of the time.
Yeah.
Might be affected by cocaine.
Oh my gosh, most dicks are.
Cocaine may render this useless.
I believe all dicks respond to cocaine the same way.
The images in this mirror may seem smaller.
Responds well to Cialis.
Oh my gosh. So Cialis is supposed to be a dick pill, right?
Works better with.
That was a dick pill joke. That's right.
Cialis.
The Viagra was the obvious
Well, 'cause
joke. I just went a little bit off to the
No,
right.
because
Works
Cialis.
okay with Cialis. Works better with C. Rachel.
Because if people don't know what Cialis is, it sounds like an allergy
I
medicine.
think people
like...
know it's Cialis.
Lots of Brady Bunch. All right, here we go. Dun, 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 dun.
No.
Actually, one of my most popular bits at the yacht club was when you meet the rich guy and you get on the boat, give him 45 minutes heads up before you do them.
Oh
Just
my
give him a little head
goodness.
start. You know, you start dating older guys. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, like
I
when
think at about 5:30, you'll be getting lucky.
something about like
Rushes
having
off
to
to
be
the bathroom.
healthy and alive. You because I used to wear a sleep mask, CPAP.
CPAP.
Yeah, so that wasn't sexy at all. But I would make sure that sexy time was over before I donned my
But
mask.
that was that like for your skin?
No, that's for sleep apnea.
Oh, for the
It's
sleep
because,
apnea.
as it turns out, when I snore, I could like die. They're like, "What?
Oh my God!
You
I
could
snore.
die. You could die."
not
by
advertising that.
breathing."
I wear a CPAP mask. So
Wow.
what does my wife do? She doesn't like if I stop breathing. She doesn't. It's like, oh, I see the money happening.
She's checking the insurance policy.
insurance.
So if I start snoring in the middle of the night, she'll just yell at me and then leave the room. And it's like, oh, good. You'll find me my dead corpse in the morning.
Oh my God. My son is like, when you're not snoring, Mom, I'm worried. So he like listens. So my 23-year-old is my roommate now. He's the one who lives in the 2-bedroom apartment in the South Market area with me. So this is single life. My eldest is my roommate. But for real, when I'm not snoring, I guess quietly, he worries and he checks in on me.
Are you introducing him to your dates, or if you have dates or suitors? I don't know.
I've never not talked about my family or my situation, and I think that's why I'm not dating.
And how about is he dating? Is he dating?
Yeah, he is, and
Is that awkward bringing girls home when mom's hanging out there?
well, only because I'm so chill.
Damn, cool, Mom. It's easier when it's a son than a daughter, I guess.
Well, I have 3 other daughters,
Okay,
but
I'd be
they're in
Stricter with the daughters, don't you think, Paul?
Yeah.
You would-
absolutely.
I
See-
ascribe to that double standard.
I was so hard on my daughter, she ended up turning herself into a boy.
Oh, you.
So-
Sometimes I feel like I'm a turn
Not
myself
uncommon
into
in
a boy,
San
too.
Francisco.
No, not at all.
I feel very masculine as well.
I think you also get a lot of free stuff with that.
With that being,
Transitioning.
Transitioning
yeah, you definitely get
You get
more,
coupons.
You definitely get more bookings on Showcase.
and free Anheuser-Busch.
Well, look at the bathroom movement.
The what movement?
The bathroom movement. It's for everyone now.
Yeah. We're all sharing bathrooms. It's like dorm room. It's like dorms in the 70s.
All I can say is when they started changing the signs on the bathroom dorms, I'm like, wow, this is really happening. And it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing.
But
It's
in the
just,
old days in college, they used to have one bathroom for the whole floor.
oh, that's just because that's all they could provide.
The one girl would go in, all the guys, oh, I got to brush my teeth now.
Hey, as a matter of fact, do you know, like, there are strip clubs where they don't even have women bathrooms installed. They had to add it because typically they're old strip clubs when women didn't go to the strip club. So women
Didn't
didn't,
they have to go to the bathroom, though, if they were working there?
that it was always in the back.
Green
So
room.
in Texas,
In the green room, Paul.
in
the green
Texas,
room.
they would actually send the women guests, customers to the
Oh.
the the
Actually, in
strippers'
New
bathroom.
York, I don't know if you guys been to McSorley's. It's the oldest bar in New York. They used to only have a men's bathroom for many, many years.
Yeah, because that's what they accommodated, and they
Now
didn't.
it's, of course,
They obviously didn't envision the
men, women, and
future.
other. You know what I mean?
Men, women, and everybody,
Anyone, really.
and their service dogs
Anyone.
or service pets.
Does your dog have, you have a service vet?
I have kittens.
Kitten.
How
I
about you?
have two
You buy
kittens.
like one of the best?
Yeah, no, but because I'm more like his emotional support human.
You're his
I wear the
emotional
vest
support.
with my dog. I take my dog out. I wear the vest. People are concerned.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, the dog was neutered, but I kinda
Somebody's
have it
gotta-
too, so fuck it.
He's
Somebody's
got
gotta
the
wear it.
glasses and the stick.
I've been neutered by
I
cancel
wear-
culture. Yeah, I wear the vest for my dog, and
Yeah, mine's into the vest. He likes the vest.
Oh,
they
hey,
can
we were
kinda go
talking
everywhere
about
with
cancel culture. You brought that up when we were talking before.
why I stopped doing comedy for 5 years. When who was the politician from Saturday? I'm losing his name right now.
You're
Al
talking-
Franken.
Yes.
When Al Franken got canceled, I thought that's time for me to leave because he's a much better guy than I'll ever be. He was there like entertaining the troops,
Right.
and they canceled him, and that's when I went. Maybe everyone take a break
Because
right
he
now.
did that. He did that thing where
Barely grazed against her breast. in a
didn't even
random
do that.
picture.
So she was sleeping. She was. It was one of the other performers, and she was a female performer, and she was sleeping like this in a chair, like in the airliner or whatever. And he went up and pretend like he was.
Yeah,
groping her.
pretended.
He was like this, leering like this.
And they're like, "You're
And
no
they
longer."
took a picture, and you could tell he was posing. He was like,
Yeah.
Oh, but
So
yeah.
they canceled him. Then they canceled Aziz Ansari, who to my mind is a very mild-mannered Indian man. And then they weaponized Louis C.K.'s act against him. And that's when I went, you know what? I'm going to take a break from comedy until this all blows over. And
You think the
Yeah,
culture is
but I
going to
mean-
disappear? No.
no, but I lost my job, so now I don't worry
but
about
the Louis
cancel
C.K.
culture.
thing, he kind of did the.
He asked permission.
I'm not
I
familiar
think
with the
once you ask
situation. I
permission
can't.
and everyone's over 18,
Did he ask permission?
He did though.
Okay.
But they said because he was so famous,
They felt
like
Oh my gosh! You know what, Dan
seemed-
the pressure.
or Gonzo?
I'm not going there.
yeah. Let's
You-
just say I stopped for 5 years, and now I feel like there's less emphasis on the Me Too and cancel culture. They kind of got everyone they needed to get. The witch hunt went nutty, and now and they kind of opened up some slots. I think in a way.
Oh, okay, I see. Kind of like the fire to
I don't
clear
like
out
to see
the
that happen to
brush.
anybody, but I think it's more
The
like.
fire to clear out the farmland so you
Yeah.
can like plant new seeds and then. till
Also,
the
when
new-
I work in like Richmond and Las Vegas, those are the main places I work. Those are pretty much pretty corrupt, crazy. places.
Richmond and Vegas.
Yeah, those are my hubs right now. Richmond and I'm going to be in Vegas next month. Yeah,
You're a-
Richmond and
you're a
Vegas.
niche.
So you worked in Hollywood, is that correct?
I did.
And how was that?
Painful.
Is it expensive? Like
Is it
like
expensive?
the Bay Area?
There's a very wide range of people there. It's a very heartbreaking and soul-wrenching experience.
Because Hollywood is
to try
very
and sell
specific.
screenplays to Hollywood.
It's not LA, it's Hollywood. Is that right?
Yeah, Hollywood's
Hollywood.
more. I think of Hollywood as more of an idea and a concept, a mythology, a part of the entertainment business.
Or you could live
And
by
I
the
will say
sign.
that it is much less glamorous than it sounds, and it's a very tough place. You got to be real fucking thick-skinned to deal with any of it.
I can
The
only
thing I
imagine.
like about LA is that on every street corner they have not only a trash can and a recycling little bin, but they also have one for all the used scripts.
Oh my
Right.
God.
You know, Paul, You know,
You
Paul,
can
a
just
lot
throw it
of
right there and you
Special
recycle 'em.
shredding.
a lot of plastic surgery there in LA, and sometimes I'll see a woman with the fake breasts, and I'll get so turned on I'll want to fuck the doctor or put him in. You know what I mean? I'm like, Dr. Goldstein, get over here, you short, bald Jewish man. I'm going to teach you a lesson about making girls look like that. Come on.
Is that what's going on in Hollywood?
It's a lot of plastic surgery, a lot of envy, avarice, envy, and lust.
Dude.
A lot of people. It's the only place where when you do well, other people get upset.
Okay, so that's why you were
It's
talking
the only
about
place you
Vegas.
can die of encouragement. I mean, I could go on
Die
and
of
on,
encouragement.
but I'm also drawn towards it's an ethnic thing. It's in the Torah, so
That's where everybody's got two jobs. Not only are they an actor, but they're a waitress. Not only are they a homeless person, they're a peeping tom.
So-
You know,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
There's
that.
a lot of that
So-
going on.
Tell me this: do places like that have problems with fentanyl as well?
I think L.A. has a huge homeless issue. That's not like
Homeless, but not
Hollywood
like
per
this
se, but
here.
Hollywood, when you walk down the actual streets of the city, yeah, there's a lot of homeless people, but most of it's in downtown LA. Actually, there's like a zombie land of like 40,000 people, and I think there's
Oh my god!
massive mental health and drug issues down there.
We call them the White Walkers.
En masse.
Okay, so
So
went
it's
to
downtown LA. It's really concentrated.
I went to Boston and they had a shortage on chips, so the rental car companies didn't have very rental cars. Cool. And we rented a U-Haul to drive around Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, the fuck we did. Me and my ex did. And it like all U-Haul places, they were in a very bad neighborhood.
Right.
And I was amazed coming from Texas, looking at the zombie apocalypse almost.
Oh yeah.
Just homeless on homeless on homeless, or I'm sorry, unhoused. And
Don't
they're
get
just
canceled.
they're just out there doing drugs and in
That's
the
right, Paul.
streets. And I had to like honk to get
Let's not
through.
get edited out of context.
Well, I don't feel like I'm saying anything
No, you're not.
wrong.
It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs in our country.
That we have to constantly be checking our vernacular, what they did.
That
what has been
also-
canceled,
Dude,
so-
I'm
And also
happy-
that AI is going to replace us all anyway. So there's going to be so many people who are out of jobs that I mean, comedy was one of the things I'm like, no one's making a fat robot Jew right now. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they're finally
maybe I can squeeze another 10 years out
No,
of it.
they're not. That's incorrect. They're just making a short Catholic one. They did the George Carlin AI special.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
And it
That's
was
right.
They literally did an hour.
How was it? Did you see it?
So again,
No, oh my gosh.
your podcast. But yeah, no, I watched the first 15 minutes of it.
And how was it?
good. It's what I think he would be saying today.
Really?
But
So
it's
it's
only
pretty
because they
accurate.
stuck all his specials in a blender.
But I don't think anyone's going to make a podcast out of me. I mean, an AI deep fake out of me.
They're never okay. So it's not like it sounded exactly like him. It didn't have his cadence, didn't have his personality. It just wrote some jokes based on
What
I think
his,
was it a
20 hours
hologram?
of HBO special.
Was it a robot of him or a hologram?
It was a slideshow
All
of
right.
AI art.
Wow. Well, it's coming.
So we have about 10, 9, 8
hold
minutes left of talk. And I would love for you to plug in what's going on so that way you can put your shout outs and then all that.
Plug all my projects. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like
Oh,
make light
boy.
of, please.
Let's see. Amber Comedy Lounge on Thursday.
Awesome.
On March
time is
30th,
that?
I'll be at the Riggers Loft Winery headlining in Richmond. It's a beautiful winery on the water there.
That sounds nice.
And then on June 29th, I'll be headlining at the Richmond Yacht Club. And April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I'll be at the Ahern Hotel and Convention Center working with the fabulous Lorenzo Clark. And hopefully you'll be seeing a film coming out called Booby Trap, which was optioned by Project 8 Films. And we have director Mick Davis attached, so we're excited about that. And a new music video we're shooting this Friday with brand new band right out of Burnt Ramen, which is an underground venue in Richmond.
Every time you say
We're bringing
burnt
back
ramen.
into the light. And that kind of covers pretty much all my projects right now.
That's
All right,
awesome.
Gonzo, one more thing. Look up in that camera and tell us where you can get everything that you have. Is it social media? Is it your
Yeah,
website?
I'm on everything. You can just go to my website, dangonzomechanic.com. Mechanic spelled MACHANIK. dangonzomechanic.com.
Just like right below him there.
Yeah.
I actually wore a mechanic outfit because I wanted to remind myself that my guest is mechanic. Dan Gonzo Mechanic. I know it sounds weird, but I looked at this outfit. I was like, that's the outfit I'm going to wear. So as far as like things that I have coming up, I do have next week, my guest will be Jerry Camacho.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, right?
Wow.
So I'm excited to have Jerry Camacho because he runs his own podcast as well. And more or less, he has the endurance to talk for an hour and 45 minutes. So it's like game recognized game. I'm not saying that you don't.
You
don't get me
can't. You
wrong.
can't get me to stop.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No. And you are actually one of the first guests that I don't know personally that is a guest, because my first guest was Tony Sparks. I'm not saying I know him
Oh, I
personally.
love
but,
Tony. I mean, I've been working with them for 15 years.
Right, he's obviously a personality that I
Godfather.
would see on like Wednesdays when I hit his open mic, and
Is he doing Brainwash still?
no longer, but he's doing Avbar
Okay.
on Wednesdays, and I'm sure he does a lot of other
Doesn't he
things.
have something out in like Fairfield? Also, he mentioned to me.
I'm sure that he actually posts a lot of well,
Okay.
let me take that
Oh,
back.
you know what? He booked me for another show, March 19th, Max Broadway in Fairfax. That's in Marin, and Tony actually booked me for that.
Awesome. Okay, so
Thank you, Godfather.
before I forget, March 26th, I'm doing my first promotion, my first production at the Mint Karaoke Lounge, where they're typically closed on Tuesdays, but they're opening it for that day for comedy. And I have PX as my headliner. Ashley Tomajan will be hosting, and the lineup includes, I know it sounds like a long lineup, but then I have DB, Deborah Balali, and Rhoda Gravork. I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. Kathy Zhao.
Oh, she's working with me at the winery.
Awesome.
She's funny, right?
Yeah, she's pretty
Have
funny.
you worked with her before?
I have.
Okay,
Kathy
you know, she
Zhao
went to
and
Stanford.
Stoyan.
Yeah.
Stoyan.
Sorry.
Stoyan is a new guy. He's actually from Bulgaria, and his comedy has appealed to me because I feel like I've been stationed with many people, guys from Bulgaria, so his story is like familiar. All right, so that's gonna be March 26th at the Mint. It's gonna start at 7, and then karaoke, of course, will follow. So there's no cover. Just show up, and it's gonna be yeah.
I'm directing you. Don't.
Yeah. Thank God for my engineer. Where would
We're
I
getting that
go? Yeah, no, he's just telling me which camera to look
Oh,
at.
I thought
Look
we were
at
getting
that
the light.
camera. All right. So this is my show. I am JoMama, and you're spending afternoons with me. I appreciate that. We got 3 more minutes, and a lot can happen in 3 minutes or nothing.
I appreciate being invited, and you guys. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
glad you
Thank you,
came.
Joe Mama. I feel honored to be part of your podcast history in the making.
Likewise. I'm glad that you came. And when I saw how textured you were, how experienced you are in the field that I am pursuing at this moment.
I'll never make it as military police. I'll tell you that.
I am encouraged.
Okay, good.
I ain't even going to get into the military aspect because I learned this recently that when a guy is hard, he can't pee. There's like a sphincter that can't control like where the pee comes out.
Ooh, shifting gears.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fucking shifting gears, right? Okay,
Finally, the dick jokes, Paul.
That's right. Friday. Fish Taco Friday.
so I feel like I have a problem with my sphincter as far as like becoming professional and making jokes. So I know, and now I'm like professionally a comedian or professionally funny. So it's like, oh my God, what do I do? Funny or professional? It's confusing.
Well, handle your business professionally and then be funny when you get on stage.
Find my sphincter.
Yeah.
Control.
Now somebody else will find it.
Show up on time. Show up on time. That's rule 1.
Yeah, all the basics that.
No, these days it's like a marketing exercise, really. If you don't have a website and a Facebook and an Instagram and a TikTok,
So social media, I started that as a
change
mom.
the game, Paul.
Are you on TikTok? You're not on TikTok.
Yeah, I have someone who does that for me, but I used to you send out newspaper clippings,
Right.
right? No, he's a comedian. Put him on with Gary Shanley.
Newspaper
That used to be how you get
clippings.
gigs.
That's how I found my apartment.
I'm so old. I used to do smoke signals.
Yeah, with the bong, the big plastic bong.
Yeah.
With your SOSs.
Yeah, you guys remember the bong.
Okay. I guess it's time to wrap it up. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
All right.
What?
Until
Talk
next
about-
week.
All right, thanks everybody in streaming land.
Thank you, Gonzo. I'm so pleased that you made
Angel
it.
Mama land.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We are out of here. Till next week.
Beauty. Okay.